Well, good morning from the John Charles Centre in Leeds. Welcome to day 2 of the SENER Age Group Championships. 50-metre pool, of course. Some very good swims, some very good times, and a lot of clubs very happy with their day's work. See how day 2 unfolds. I'll give you the idea of what we have in store for you in the morning, which will go into the afternoon session. 400 freestyle up first for the boys, 11 to 14. 11 to 14 girls, 100 freestyle will follow that. Then after that, we'll be up to the 100 butterfly for the 11 to 14s. I think the 11 to 14s pretty much all the way through here, haven't we? Looking at the program for this morning. Yeah, 200 breaststroke for that age group as well. And then we're moving swiftly on to the 200 meters individual medley for girls, and then there will be 50 back for the boys, 50 butterfly for the girls, and that will conclude the morning program, I think. Indeed it will. So we'll start with 7 heats of the 400 freestyle. As ever, I'll mention all the swimmers where I can, all the clubs where I can, so everybody gets a mention. If you're watching on YouTube, that's obviously the way we're getting these transmissions to you. Very good morning. Make sure that you let everybody else in the swimming fraternity know that this is being live streamed all the way through the day. Every single race will be live on YouTube. So if your son or daughter is competing, you'll get a chance to see them between now and when we conclude the finals this afternoon. Probably about 3.5 hour session. Maybe a little bit less than we had yesterday. But we are ready for the first event of the morning, first heat of the morning. It's the boys 11 to 14 years 400 freestyle. Once they're on the way, I'll tell you who they are. All in there as well, so I can tell you that 0 to 9, every single lane is occupied. 0 is Benjamin Thorpe of Newcastle. Blake Hooper of Derwent Sides in 1. 2 is Tom Jobling of Durham City. 3 is Angelo Gianni Contini of Gateshead and Wickham. Kourosh Kodakar of Leeds in 4. Joseph Moment of Scarborough in 5. Edward Brown, Anik Dolphins in 6. Alex Boyer of Darlington in 7, Tantai Bennett of Harrogate in 8, and Luke Gilliver is in lane number 9. In terms of time here, got a little clutch of 5:13s. Kodakar 5:13 dead, 5:13.10 for Angelo Gianni Contini, same time for Joseph Moment. So you'd imagine from the entry times we're probably going to be looking at centre lanes, but we've seen quite a few breakout swims on the first day. Swimmers who are in outside lanes actually coming through to win them. Lane 3's had a very good start here. Angelo Gianni Contini will be right alongside Luke Gilliver up there in lane number 9. So just to give you a perspective in case you just joined us, 0 will be at the bottom of your screen, 9 at the top. As we're on this side of the pool, so quite a separation in terms of lanes between our top 2 swimmers here. The year of birth today rather than the ages, because they're both 2006 born. Very tight it is between 2 of them, with 150 gone. Half a second between Contini and Gilliver, and a bit of a gap to Kodakar and Moment, having their own little battle, but the race is starting to change a little bit. You can see leader still the same, second place still the same, but lead swimmer in lane 4 starting to make a bit of a move in that yellow cap. Try and track him every way and every move is Joseph Moment. Now leader as he was at 100 will be the leader at 2 in lane number 3. Angelo Gianni Contini of Gateshead and Wickham. Gilliver just over a second behind. Kodakar about 2 seconds behind the leader, but he's starting to make a move, and we did see this in the women's 400 yesterday. How the splits are very often the 200 is the moment at which they start to accelerate, start to move a bit more quickly. That's emphasized by the way that Kodakar is swimming in lane number 4. He's rapidly catching up with Angelo Giannicontini. At 3, 4 and 5 very close together now. Contini, Kodakar, a moment. About 2 seconds between the top 3. And that may all be a lot closer. Certainly between the top 2 anyway, when they come back down this end of the pool. I think that was a spur for Contini to get moving again, because he was quite comfortable for a while, but not now, because Kodakar's right on his hips. And in fact, by the time they get down this end, the pool might be right alongside him and potentially overtaking him with 100 to go. Very little distance between our leader and second place. In fact, they're going to go into the turn pretty much together. Continue with a lead of only 0.16 now. That lead may well evaporate over the next 100. And Gilbert, lane 9's found a little spurt to get into third place. Moment's not really making much of an inroad on the top 2. We have a new leader, because Kodakar has gone into the lead by about half a body length. Gilbert, who went very strongly over the first 200s, having a very good last 100 here, moves up into third place. But our leader, here's the City of Leeds swimmer in the yellow cap, and now got a lead of about body length and a half over our pace setter, which is Contini. Gilbert in third, Moment in fourth. Now, what kind of time can Kurish Kodakar do this morning? 5:13 to say he's entered in. Should be able to come back inside 5:13. We're hoping for maybe about 5:11 possibly on this pace. Contini trying to hold on to him, make sure he doesn't get too far away. Well, that's going to be probably about 5:06, 5:07 maybe for our winner. 5:05.65 it is. Which, say, if we look at his entry time of being 5:13, that's a massive step in the right direction. Angelo Giannicontini, the early leader, came back strongly in the end, 5:06.22. So looks like a PB for him as well. And third place up at the top, Luke Gilbert, always in the race, always in contention, 5:08.69, and on his entry time is 5:21. So that is the best he's ever done. Obviously he's not now, because that's the 13-second improvement. Now, just to give you a little steer on this, some of the times that have been entered are short course times, so I'm always a little bit careful about saying they are PBs, because there are some converted times. So we seem to be Luke Gilbert had a very big improvement in his time. So heat number 2, Jamie Haig of Borough of Kirklees, Billy Greenacre, Kingston upon Hull, Samuel Antrobus of Borough of Stockton, Thomas Miles of Harrogate, Samuel Emmett, City of Leeds, Jack Livingston of Ashington, Reese Blackett of Newcastle, Daniel Jackson of Borough of Kirklees, Shay Wood of Hartlepool, and City of Sheffield's Thomas Wilkinson. Those are the swimmers, and they are all in the pool. No absentees this time. Fastest in the field in terms of entry time. Only one swimmer has an entry time under 5. That's our swimmer in lane 4, Samuel Emmett of City of Leeds. Always helpful from the commentator's point of view that City of Leeds swimmers pretty much always wear their yellow caps. Very distinctive, which is good, but not at the moment leading. Jack Livingston just about in the lead, but it's very tight. They're going to go to the wall pretty much together after 100 here. But Emmett just getting there ahead of Livingston, whose time is not showing on there. Livingston is in second place in lane number 5. But our leader fairly clear now, with about half a body length advantage. Trying to extend that still further. Samuel Emmett, 4:59 as I mentioned his entry time, where Jack Livingston's got a 5:00.46. So obviously the ambition for him is to get into the fours. And a good pace being set by our leader. Looks in second. Third place in lane 8. Top of your picture. Shea Wood having his own little battle with Thomas Wilkinson in lane 9. 8 and 9 virtually stroke for stroke on the far side. But this is where all of a sudden Samuel Emmett's gone to his legs and starting to pull away from the rest of the field. It's a really destructive 50, this one, because there wasn't much between them when they went down the other end of the pool. They come up this end of the pool, and there's a massive gap between first and second. And 2:24.80 at the halfway stage for our leader. Livingston's still in second place, but look at the gap now. It's got to be all of, what, about 5-6 meters, maybe more. Yeah, get on for about 7 or 8. And don't discount the two in the outside lane, with Shea Wood and Thomas Wilkinson making their way back and racing each other, which is a great help in terms of trying to get a good time here, because they're keeping an eye on each other. Hartlepool swimmer closest to us, Sheffield swimmer at the far side. This will be 250 for our leader, Sam Emmett, our City of Leeds, 3:02. Yeah, so 4:59 will be beaten here for certain. The outside lanes are quite interesting. 5:09 for Shea Wood. Thomas Wilkinson with a 5:11. So chances are they're going to be not inside 5, but certainly making some improvement in the right direction. Jack Livingston desperate to hold on to that second place, but he may well be swallowed up. I think he already has been now. 100 to go for our leader. 3:40.44. So yeah, well under 5 minutes on this pace for our leader. There's a 7.5 second gap to the next three, who are all pretty much in the line now. Jack Livingston, Shea Wood, Thomas Wilkinson. Nothing really to choose between the two red caps. And the swimmer in the centre lane, Jack Livingston. They're going to battle it out. Remember, looking for a top 10 place for their particular age group tonight. Look at the gap now, it's 15 meters between our leader, Sam Emmett, and the rest. So how far inside 5 can he get? That's the question. With a 4:59 entry time, we know it's going to be on this pace under 4:59. Maybe we can get a 4:55, that'd be good. The others are still not clear cut in second and third by any means. Jack Livingston's found something at the back end of the race, might be enough to take him into second conclusively at the end. Said 4:55, it's going to be inside 4:55. 4:54 for our winner. 4:54.40. Anybody else getting under the 5? Not quite. Jack Livingston just slightly slower than his entry time at 5:01.22, but the third and fourth swimmers are massively inside their entry times. The 5:02 for Thomas Wilkinson and 5:03 for Shea Wood. So improvements there for 1, 3 and 4 in heat number 2. Heat number 3, 400 freestyle. If you have joined us, there are 7 of these for the boys 11 to 14 year age group. Fastest time of the morning so far, Sam Emmett, 4:54.40. So who do we have here? Well, they're all in. Elliot Watkins of City of Leeds in 0. George Knowles of City of Leeds in 1. Benjamin Wilkinson of Whitby in 2. Jacob Grierson, Borough of Kirklees in 3. Adam Tilling of Guysborough in 4. Alfie Maguire, City of Sunderland in 5. Leo White of Derwenside 6. Dominic Mathias of City of Leeds in 7. James Plant, Borough of Kirklees in 8. And 9 is Rhys Ridderford, City of Leeds. So we have 4 from Leeds in this race. Whitby, though, leading after 50. Benjamin Wilkinson. Times all quite similar, certainly amongst the faster ones here. 4:52, 4:53, 4:54. So all of these swimmers have been sub-5 before. We're trying to get into the 440s now for the likes of Adam Tilling and Jacob Grierson. Tilling leads only by a quarter of a second from Matthias, and then it's Knowles and Ridderford. The whole pool only separated by 4 seconds from 1 down to 10. Top of the picture, Matthias is having a good first 150. In fact, may well go into a lead here. He has gone into the lead. He's overtaken Adam Tilling at this turn. Lead of just under a second over Tilling, then Knowles, then Ridderford. And keeping an eye on the lead swimmer down below us in lane number 1, George Knowles. Going back very well on that second 100. Up into 3rd place. It might well be up into 2nd place when they turn at this end, but our leader is on the far side of the pool. The 2 lead swimmers having their own race between themselves, 7 and 9. Dominic Matthias will turn now. Lead's not as big, down to 0.61. Ridderford in 3rd. Plant 4, so you can see the 1, 2, 3 all quite closely grouped, and there's a bit of a gap to the next section. And just I did mention before, George Knowles just stroking through quite comfortably here with a 4:57 entry time. So we're looking to we get down to 4:55, 4:54 if he can this morning. Matthias with a 4:57. Lead is 0.67 from Matthias and Knowles, so that hasn't really changed a great deal between the top 2. Tilling in 3rd, Watkins in 4th. Leads domination at the moment in terms of this race, but I think they have 1, 2 and 3 at the moment. They do. Quite spread though. You can see Matthias at the top of your screen, George Knowles down the bottom, and waiting maybe for Adam Tilling to have a little burst from Gisborough through the centre, but Leeds dominating that. Leeds 1, 2, 3 now, because Rhys Ridderford has moved into 3rd place. Matthias, Knowles, Ridderford. Tilling not really making much of an impression now, so he's got the fastest entry time, but I don't think he's going to have any chance of catching our leader, and looks like being our winner. Dominic Matthias on the far side. George Knowles holding on to 2nd place. That's just looking very comfortable. Having to overexert here. I want to kick a little bit off this wall to give himself a chance of maybe a 4:55. I'll tell you what, without seemingly striking particularly hard, George Knowles is not a million miles away from our leader, but he ain't going to catch him. Matthias made that decisive break on the 2nd 100 and is going to hold on. Won't be a 1, 2, 3 for Leeds, I don't think. Certainly a 1, 2. But there will be an interloper between them, and that will be Adam Tilling, our leader, as our winner, and 4:47, no less, for Dominic Matthias. That's from his entry time, a 10-second improvement. Very nearly, anyway. 2nd is George Knowles, also of Leeds. And 3rd place going to Adam Tilling with a 4:51. Well, he's still broken his entry time. So top 3 all going faster than we've seen them before. Just one maybe for Jacob Grierson, who was entered on 4:54. Couldn't quite get done today. 5:13 for him from the Borough of Kirklees. Now we do have a scratch in lane 1 for heat number 4, already advised to us, so that will not have a swimmer. Luke Clegg is not with us, but the others are. William Morris of Middlesbrough in 0. In 2, Samuel Tate of Morpeth. Middlesbrough's Thomas McDermott goes in 3. 4 is Harvey Pennington of Skipton. Luke Booth of Rotherham. 5, Joshua Robinson of Derwentside in lane 6. 7 is Finley Williams. 8, Jack Wood of Grimsby. And 9 is Samuel Akers of the City of Bradford. Key number 4 of the 400 free. Their starts come from Samuel Tate of Morpeth in lane number 2. But, he's just behind Akers and Wood on that turn. Through the 10 lanes, you have to scatter your eyes left, right and centre. You can see the top of the pictures where the action is. Mainly, Samuel Akers of City of Bradford going particularly well in lane number 9. That's on a 452, so he's going for something well inside that. He and Samuel Tate, 2 Sams together, and also Jack Wood of Grimsby in lane number 8 in the green trunks. So half a second separating 1, 2 and 3 here, and coming to join the party as well is lane number 4, Harvey Pennington. Starting to make him move through on this 50. Quite a tight one. 1, 2, 3, 4 in a line, and not too far back off the pace either is Thomas McDermott. Look at that, 4 going to the wall almost together. Certainly 3 are. And there's only 0.6 of a second between 1, 2, 3 and 4 here. Wood has the advantage, but it's very, very slender one over Harvey Pennington, who had a fantastic 50 there and brought himself right into contention. And good to see them racing here, because that can only improve the time and bring their entry times down a little bit. 4 in the line, still pretty much nobody's breaking out of the pack as yet. Now might be a good time to start, but look, certainly 3 together and 1 just off the pace. Our leader now, though, is Harvey Pennington, who does marginally have the best entry time, but it's very, very small. Jack Wood, second place. And Sam Tate in lane number 2. Now, is there a decisive kick coming from anybody? Doesn't look like it at the moment. 3 all together, and don't discount Sam Akers on the outside lane either, because he's not too far behind. Gap between 1, 2 and 3 will be negligible here, being probably about say less than a second between the top 3. In fact, just over half a second between Pennington, Tate and Wood. 150 to go. And it's normally somewhere around here, maybe a little bit earlier sometimes, but somebody makes that decisive kick. Just puts a little bit more propulsion into the stroke, but not happening. These 3 are mirroring each other, and coming right back into the fold is Sam Akers. So there probably will be 4 separated by pretty much nothing when they come to this turn for 100 to go. New leader again. No, Pennington's just holding on from Sam Tate, who I thought was just about to overtake him, but Tate is 4 100s behind, then Wood, then Akers. So it's about a second and a half between the top 4 now. So looks like we can concentrate on 4 and 2 for the win. Sam Tate looks to have timed this absolutely perfectly if he can bring it home here from Morpeth. Harvey Pennington here have very, very similar entry times, so not surprisingly they're together. But again, I keep saying watch out for Sam Akers. He's still in the mix and not too far behind. 50 to go. Tate has a slender lead. He's only 0.4, then a second behind is Sam Akers, but I'm impressed with the way that Samuel Tate has swum this from Morpeth. 2004 born. I think he's got this nailed. I think he's made the break at the right time. I think the 2 Sams are going to be 1 and 2 here as well, because Akers just keeps coming back. Every time he looks like he might be threatening to drop the pace, he comes back, and in fact, you know what, Akers is going to be there or thereabouts at the conclusion of this. Not going to quite overtake Sam Tate. 4:43 for Samuel Tate, 4:43.64, which is marginally the quickest that we've had in the morning session so far. Sam Akers did hold on very well with a 4:43, so good swims from both of those 2, and Harvey Pennington with a 4:45. All of them considerably inside their entry times for the 400 free. Everybody heading in the right direction, which is exactly what the coaches want to see on a Sunday morning. So we're into the cyclically seeded heats now. 3 of them coming up. It looks to me like we've probably only got 2 because all the times here are very similar. So we're going to hit 6 and 7. They change a great deal. There's a lot of 4. Well, yeah, we are just with a differential. Martin Smith's about 2 seconds quicker than anybody else in this. Here is the lineup, by the way, for you, with no outside lane. In 9. So Benjamin Rogers Stockton, Lewis Wallagora of Harrogate, Harry Courtney of Tynedale, Kieran Much of North Tyneside, Martin Smith of Borough of Kirklees, Lewis Baker in 5 for City of Sheffield, Harrison Lee of City of Wakefield, Daniel Cutter of Richmond Dale in 7, and in lane 8 it is Luke McGee of the City of Sunderland. So we're down into the low 440s potentially here. Lewis Baker's a 443. Kieran Much is a 444, but fastest in the field in lane 4, though not showing it at the moment, is Martin Smith. Our leader after 100 is Kieran Much of North Tyneside. As we saw in the last race, it changes a lot in the 400 free. Don't assume the leader at 100 is going to be the leader at 400 because it doesn't always happen that way. And he swims the 400 slightly differently these days. Like so, Kieran Perkins and Grant Hackett kind of changed the way that 400 plus swims were done. Become more of a sprint these days, the 400 free, than it used to be. So the times come down to 3:40 and thereabouts for the very best in the world. So you can see top 4 only separated by half a second. 150, very similar to our previous heat. It's even more closely grouped here. 2, 3, 4 and 5. Harry Courtney, Kieran Much, Martin Smith, Lewis Baker all in a line, and also coming into the frame Harrison Lee as well. So there's 5, probably separated by less than a second. Let's see. I think it's going to be nearly just over the second mark for Lee, but it's only 1.17 between the top 5 and the halfway stage. So a lot can yet change in this, and probably will change. Harry Courtney, Tynedale, closest to us. Centre lane's occupied by Martin Smith and Lewis Baker. Smith moving to the front of the field, but only marginally. Lewis Baker right on his shoulder, and on his shoulder to his left is Harrison Lee. So 5 again going into the wall together. And the gap is now still around about the same, 120 between 1 and 4. And then Wally Gorra, Rogers and Cutter are having their own race behind. But in terms of the top 5, maybe the move being made now by the swimmer in lane number 4. Kind of as expected, our fastest swimmer on paper, Martin Smith, but not massively ahead of Lewis Baker. Baker's about a body length back, right on the feet of our leader with 100 to go. And still the top 5 are quite closely grouped. Just spreading out a bit more now as Smith puts a little bit more impetus and urgency into this last 150. Here's the last 100 now. And Smith would seem to have this pretty much nailed. 4:41 he's entered in on. 4:43 for Baker, 4:44 for Kieran Much. And the one who's going to make a sizable improvement would seem Harry Courtney in 2 from his entry time. We'll see what they are like when they come off the wall. About 4:03, 4:05, maybe 4:04, 62. So Smith needs to get a little bit of a wriggle on here to do a sizable PB. He's got the race won. Second place, however, in not quite so clear cut. Harry Courtney trying to come through to overtake Lewis Baker. And Baker probably not aware of where Courtney is. Be aware where the leader is disappearing away from him, but Courtney is the one with the move towards the end and might well take second place. He is going to take second place. Our leader comes in to finish in 4:39.22. So that's a good sub 4:40 for Martin Smith. Harry Corney with a good finish of 4:41, and third place to Lewis Baker, also 4:41, 3/10 of a second between second and third. Good race, and our fastest heat of the morning so far. 4:39. So we have all the lanes occupied for heat number 6 of the 400 free. So I'll name them once they're in. Elliot Best of Newcastle in 0. Ben Shelton, City of Leeds in 1. William Baines, Barrow Stockton in 2. Ryan Zhao, Gateshead and Wickham 3. 2 teammates alongside him. Adam Strickland in 4. Adam Barrett in 5. Nathan Bunkle of Harrogate goes in 6. 7 is Cameron Green of City of Bradford. City of Leeds, Harry Milner in 8. And Joshua Savage of Derwentside in lane number 9. First 50 of the 400 completed. Ryan Zhao clocks at 29.28. We only had 3 finals yesterday, won 2 of them. Somehow, some way managed to contrive not to win the 200 backstroke. And that's pretty much in the palm of his hand. Just I didn't get his finish right. I wasn't aware of the danger lurking, so he finished second. Two wins and a second for Zhao. Great talent we've mentioned from Gateshead and Wickham, and he'll be racing alongside his teammates here, one of whom has taken over the lead. At 100, Adam Barrett. Zhao now back in 5th place, but look, there's nothing to separate top 6. 0.42, that's all there is between top 6 at the 100 mark. So the lead will probably change hands several more times before we finish here. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7 all in a line, literally in a line here. I doubt if there's more than half a second between the whole of the top 6. Let's see. No, there isn't. 0.48 between the top 6. That's how tight it is. So any of these could win this. More importantly, of course, it's times they're looking for. Fastest on paper is Strickland with a 4:27, but it's marginal because there's some 4:28s and 4:29s in there, so it's not a clear-cut advantage for the man in lane 4, and at the moment it's not even showing it. Adam Barrett is just about, well, was just about leading the way, but he isn't now because suddenly William Baines has come into the picture and leads by 0.23. Strickland, Green and Zhao still only a second between the top 5. And this is going to be a difficult one to call in terms of the winner because it keeps changing hands as the lead. William Baines is going well, but all of a sudden you can see the move being made in the centre of the pool. 5 and 6, Adam Barrett. Adam Strickland in there too in 4, but 5 and 6 at the moment are the ones who are making most of the move. Adam Barrett and Nathan Bunkle. And Baines in the middle of them. Top 3 separated by 0.06. Top 4 separated by 1/4 of a second. That is all. And this is going to be almost like a 100 meters freestyle scrap here by the time they turn at 300, because nobody has got a distinct advantage. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All looking for the win. All looking for a place in the final tonight. And the lead changes again. It'll be Ryan Zhao will be at the top now. Look at this, 0.14. I think we've had different leaders in every 50 for the last 4. Ryan Zhao now has 0.14 over Baines, who is a little bit ahead of Strickland, but Zhao now going very much to the arms and legs. Very muscular for a 14-year-old, as he is this year. And just bided his time, was kind of in the slipstream of everybody else for a while, but now he's made his move. It looks like a decisive one as well with 50 to go. Now swimmer in lane 3, Ryan Zhao. And William Baines, he's led the race. Strickland's has led the race. Bunkle's led the race as well. All four of them have been at the front at some point. Of course, when it matters is right now as they enter the last 50. Ryan Chow, who always has seemingly no effort. The legs are working quite hard, but look at the arms. Very metronomic, but coming right alongside him again. I'm getting a bit of a deja vu feeling here for Ryan Chow, because William Baines is going to overtake him on the finish. 4:28.50 for William Baines. In the mornings, because it doesn't really matter, because they both make the final without too much problem at all. But William Baines just saw Ryan Chow taking his time and beat him by 0.28. In the end, Adam Strickland with a 4:30 and Nathan Bunkle in 4. So say they'll top 3 will make the final. Probably top 4 will make the final without too much trouble tonight. Fastest heat to come. Fastest man in the field, but again, it's not by a great deal. Ryan Chow, by the way, entering on 4:28.8 to 4:28.78. All 10 there. And these are they. Joe Callan of Team Jorvik in 0. 1 is Thomas English, Chester Street. Barnaby Howarth Osborne of Sheffield City in 2. Brandon Cartwright of Borough of Kirklees 3. 4 is James Woods of Middlesbrough. Mason Bland of Kingston upon Hull in 5. Doncaster Darts Ben Wright in 6. And by the way, good morning to all the Doncaster Darts swimmers who are down in Plymouth this weekend. The senior swimmers are down there. Harry Nicholson, Chester Street in 7. Curtis Harper, City of Sheffield in 8. And Brodie Clark of Borough of Kirklees in lane number 9. Well, the spread in terms of time, 4:26 for James Woods, up to 4:40 for Brodie Clark in the outside lane. But again, it will probably be 4 or 5, maybe 6, all going at a fairly similar pace early stages. Lead will probably change hands a few more times. And Thomas English is taking the pace out on the 100. Just leading from Barnaby Howarth Osborne. Look at that. Again, top 5. Separated by less than a second. It is early stages. It will open up as the race unfolds. But Thomas English, Barnaby Howarth Osborne, side by side. Now starting to make a move on this 50. Is the fastest man on paper in the field. James Woods might get to second or third. He won't overtake our leader, who is now Barnaby Howarth Osborne. So there you go. At the 100 we had a leader. 150 we have a different leader. And that will probably change a few more times in what is a very competitive 400 free here. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Barely a body length separating those. And Ben Wright of Doncaster Darts is still very much in contention, as is Curtis Harper of City of Sheffield on the far side. But who's going to lead on this one? Still just Barnaby Howarth Osborne by 0.13 from Brandon Cartwright. Then Mason Bland and James Woods. 5 in a line now. Who is going to start to make that move? Lane 6, maybe Ben Wright is the answer to my question. He's getting very high on the water, just really exerting himself a little bit more, maybe visibly, than the others, and he will take over the lead at 2:50. Barnaby Howarth Osborne just about 6/10 back. Cartwright about another 1.3, sorry, 13 100ths behind, but it's a good 50 for the man with the green trunks. Just moving his way seamlessly and effortlessly past everybody else. It's a very, very good 100 that we're seeing from our leader, who may well have broken the back of everybody else in the field. He's entered on 4:28. So if we can do About 110, he'll be there or thereabouts on his time. Well, he should be able to do that, you would think, at this stage of his development. Lane 2, Barnaby Howarth Osborne is holding on, our early leader, to second place. But they ain't going to catch Dr. Darts, Ben Wright in 6. He is, sorry, Mason Bland in 6, I should say. In 5. Osborne second, Cartwright in 3rd, but nobody's going to catch Mason Bland of Kingston upon Hull. He's got this one very well nailed. They can battle away for 2nd and 3rd place. Obviously, final place is at stake for them, but Mason Bland of Kingston upon Hull with a 4:28 entry time is looking at slicing a few seconds off that 4:28, getting into the mid 4:20s, which is exactly what he's going to do with a 4:25.39. So we'll be happy with that. Quite a margin in the end between him and second. 2.5 seconds over our early leader from Sheffield. He's on 4:27, which is, according to our stats, never done before. And 3rd is Ben Wright of Doncaster Darts. But just a little change in the order there. Mason Bland is our winner. Barnaby Howarth Osborne 2nd, and 3rd is Thomas English. So on to the first of the girls' events for the day. It's taken us, what, about 40 minutes to do the 400 free. 100 free now for the 11 to 14-year-old girls. That's your lineup for heat number 1. We'll name them once they're in. Phoebe Bland of Newcastle in 1. 2, Holly Stoker of City of Sunderland. Charlotte Bianchi, City of Sheffield 3. Maya Griffiths of City of Bradford 4. Megan Caldwell, Tynedale 5. Emma Finley, Gateshead and Wickham in 6. Molly Green, City of Leeds is in 7. And 8 is Charlie Groves of Hartlepool. Pretty much all around the 108s. A few 109s sprinkled in for good measure. 2 and 3 most prominent at the turn, being Holly Stoker in 2 and Charlotte Bianchi in lane number 3. And there will be a scrap between these two, though. Some others are coming back into the mix now. Megan Caldwell of Tynedale in particular with that yellow cap. Emma Finley next to her, but my eyes are mainly trained on lane number 3, Charlotte Bianchi, who's going very well. So too is Megan Caldwell. Lane 3 is going to take it. First heat to Charlotte Bianchi of City of Sheffield. Comes in at a 106.72, which I make a sizable improvement on 108.99, which she's entered in on. Phoebe Bland, second place for Newcastle. You're right. Okay. Heat number 2. And everybody seems to be there. And they are. So Emily Headley of Tynemouth in 0. 1 is Ariana Stokes of Tynemouth. Chloe Eade of Barnsley in 2. Libby Mundy, Grimsby in 3. Kay Fenton and Skipton in 4. Emily Oliver, Borough Kirklees 5. Mariela Bidzimu Bootle of Derwentsside in 6. 7 is Lauren Heppel of Chester Street. 8 is Liddy May Pratt of Skipton. And 9 is Helena Winus of City of Sunderland. Well, that's a pretty tight first 50 with 6 of them separated by just 0.77. Our leader at the turn was Libby Mundy in lane 3, but she has got company from Ariana Stokes in 1, and the fast finishing in lane number 4, Kay Fenton as well. And Fenton's coming right through the centre here. So 1, 3 and 4 are very, very tightly packed. It might well be lane 3, Libby Mundy, who was the leader at 50. She's going to win it at the 100, I think. Just wait for that to just change because that's not quite right. There you are. Libby Mundy is our winner. 1:05.70 for the victor. So a couple of seconds knocked off her entry time there. Kay Fenton in second, Ariana Stokes in third. Sheffield love in for heat number 3. 4 of them in the field. Give you their names and the other clubs once we start. So Isla Jones, 11-year-old from Sheffield in 0. Ashley Bailey of Sheffield 1. Ellie Dibb of City of Leeds 2. Sophie Bromley, City of Sheffield 3. Jessie Finley, City of Sheffield 4. Megan Sharp, Leeds in 5. Georgina Houseman, Harrogate 6. Olivia Hidiat of City of Leeds 7. Violet Herefield of Middlesbrough 8. And Iris Burnett of North Lincolnshire in 3. So well, Sheffield are going to dominate this one with the amount of swimmers they have. Well, they are dominating the early stages anyway. Jessie Finley of Sheffield with a entry time of 1:06.32 is determined not to have anybody particularly close to her and not to be in a race. She wants to dominate this, and she will be aware. To her left-hand side is her teammate Sophie Bromley, but I don't think that's going to concern her unduly. Although at the top of the picture, where she's not aware, is Helena Winus going, Iris Burnett going very well for North Lincolnshire, but she's not going to catch our leader and indeed our winner ultimately in lane number 4, Jessie Finley, with a 1:05.81. Iris Burnett, I think, might have got 3rd place. Ashley Bailey in second with a 1:06.26, and Iris Burnett with a 1:06.47. All heading in the right direction time-wise. All 10 swimmers in for heat number 4 of the 100 freestyle for women. Maxie Yoxall, Stocksbridge, Georgina Robertson, City of Sheffield, Pearl Lightwood of Middlesbrough, Una Gregory, York City, Leah Smith, Sedgefield, then 3-4 lead swimmers together. Freya Johnson, Iona Logan, Neem Carroll, Sienna Ho Shing, and India Bryant Chesters of Tadcaster in the outside lane. This is going to be a very, very close one indeed by the looks of things. Gregory just first, Una Gregory of York City, then Pearl Lightwood and Freya Johnson, but nothing to choose between the whole field after 50. The distinctive orange cap of York City's Una Gregory is at the front of the field and is just about holding on, but she's got company arriving, and arriving pretty rapidly too, from several of the lead swimmers, including Freya Johnson. There's Smith's in there as well, but the York City swimmer, give her a credit, is going to get there first, I think. Just wait for the details to come through. Lane 3 has got it, I think. Yes, she has. Una Gregory with a 1:04.96. Second place to Neem Carroll of City of Leeds, and third is Freya Johnson. So Leeds in 2 and 3, but our winner 1:04.96, and according to our stats, that's something like a half a second PB for our winner. 1:04.96 is the fastest of the morning so far, with still 5 more heats to go. So on to heat number 5 of the 100 freestyle for girls, 11:14. Isla Williams, City of Leeds. Molly Fisher, Rotherham Metro. Lauren Smith, City of Leeds. Sally Rutledge of Borough Kirklees. Ewa Hardacre of Harrogate. Ruby Knight, Borough Kirklees. Madison Peveler of Weir Valley. Yasmin Marshall, Northallerton. Evie Dilley of Middlesbrough. And Louisa Iverson of Harrogate. I do see a prominent Leeds cap right down below us, but is she leading? No, she's not. Evie Dilley of Middlesbrough on that split. Smith, Peveler and Marshall not too far behind. And yellow cap of lane number 2. But look at the far side. That's where all the action's coming from. Evie Dilley of Middlesbrough. Pretty much swimming her own race because you're looking around and nobody's really pushing her. So the top 2 are separated by several lanes. Now, is it going to be the lead swimmer down below, or is it going to be the Middlesbrough swimmer at the top? Well, the answer is Evie Dilley gets there first with a 1:03.76. Second place, once we've got all the details for you, Lauren Smith with a 1:04.05. So 1:03.7 for our winner from Middlesbrough. So heat 6 of the 100 freestyle for girls. Charlotte Clark, City of Leeds. Kitty Bramall of Rotherham Metro. Agatha Scott of Harrogate. Leah Schlossen of City of Leeds. Lola Morales of Tynemouth. Daisy Creel-Parr of City of Sheffield. Annabelle Cooper, Weir Valley. Martha Bradley, City of Leeds. Jasmine Campbell, Tynemouth. Charlotte Berry of City of Sheffield. Very powerful, very impressive start from both lanes. 4 and 9. Lola Morales and Charlotte Berry. Berry just getting to the wall ahead of Morales. Agatha Scott in 3rd place. As we've already seen the second 50 to unfold. Can bring some back into the frame. Daisy Creel-Parr had a very good day yesterday, but nobody's having as good a day at the moment as Charlotte Berry in lane number 9. She is really going for this big time. They're probably going to win this. If she can hold on to this pace, nobody's going to catch. She can win this by a body length and more. What a terrific swim from the swimmer in lane number 9, Charlotte Berry, who previously had done a 1:04.80. Well, today it's a 1:02.53. That's impressive. Very impressive. Lola Morales in 2nd. There's Martha Bradley, but 1:02.53. Well, I'll say 1:04.80 is her best time. That's a 2-second and more improvement for Charlotte Berry, who just went for that big time from the off. Led at 50 and led conclusively at 100. Heat 7. Ella Stabler of York City, Alana McDonald, Borough Stockton, Gina Speakman of Halifax, Harriet Rogers of Darlington, Izzy May Reeves of City of Sheffield, Ella Took of Tynemouth, Hermione Timms of City of Sheffield, Emily Turner, City of Leeds, Olivia Cattery of Newcastle, Faye McDonough of Borough of Stockton. Fastest in the field and nearest to breaking that 60-second barrier is Izzy May Reeves in lane 4, but she's not leading at 50. That'll be Harriet Rogers who will turn first. Reeves in 2nd place, Took in 3rd. So can anybody break that 60 barrier? Looks like we might get a sub-60 swim here, but maybe not from the person that we thought it might come from. It's going to come from lane 3 and Harriet Rogers, who's got a 61.84. If she can hold on to this speed, surely a sub-60 is on the cards, though she is now being tracked down by Izzy May Reeves. Our winner is going to come from lane 3, and she's going to be very close to that minute mark. Oh, 1:00.65. Still an improvement on the time we have for her. A 60.65 for Harriet Rogers. Well done. And that 60 seconds will come. Nearly came this morning. Maybe it will come later if she gets a chance to swim again, which she probably will with that time. Two more to come in this event. We do have a sub-60 swimmer in here. Millie Fenton of Tynemouth in 0. Melissa Morehouse of City of Leeds in 1. Ellie Burke of South Tyneside 2. Izzy Winter of Newcastle in 3. 4 is Lucy Headley of Tynemouth. Hermione Rowe of City of Bradford in 5. Isabel Hextall of Kingston upon Hull in 6. Lara Thompson, City of Leeds 7. Mia Boyle of York City in 8. And Coco Soden of Borough Stockton in 9. That sub-60 swimmer is our leader at 50. That's Lucy Headley of Tynemouth. Second is Izzy Winter and Hermione Rowe in third place. Well, the time we have for Lucy Headley, her entry time is 59.78. Now, can she pull a couple of other swimmers who haven't subsequently or previously gone sub 60 through to that time? Well, she's trying very hard to do that. She's trying to bring Izzy Winter through with her. Our winner, I think, is pretty much cut and dried now. It's going to be Lucy Headley. We could have our first sub 60 swim here. We're going to have our first sub 60 swim here. No, we're not. Oh, I thought she was going to do that. 60.70. It's kind of surprised me. She actually stepped outside it in the end. Izzy Winter, 62.05. So still, Harriet Rogers, fastest time, 60.70. I was absolutely convinced that was going to be a sub 60, but 60.70 is what it is. Again, she'll probably save a big swim till later. And again, our seat number 9, we do have another 59 high. Actually 59 mid in the case of Millie Boulding, goes in lane 4. And the others are Beth Hall, Grimsby in 0, 1 Laura Hodgson, Newcastle, 2 Bethany Crump, Grimsby, 3 Grace Conroy, City of Sheffield, 5 Abigail Parkinson, Tadcaster, 6 Millie Foster, Sunderland, 7 Alexandra Woodhead of Borough of Kirklees, Megan Kirkman of York City in 8, and Emily Brooke of Borough of Kirklees in lane number 9. Well, we haven't had a sub 60 yet. Got closer on 2 occasions. Maybe it will come from this one. Millie Boulding turns over just ahead of Abigail Parkinson. Grace Conroy in third place. All of them around about the minute mark in terms of their entry time. So one of them surely is going to break the barrier this morning. Maybe a couple of them. They are certainly racing each other, which will help in that endeavour, you would hope. Lane 4, lane 5, Millie Boulding, Abigail Parkinson, absolutely stroke for stroke. This is going to be a very tight one. Parkinson might well get this for Tadcaster, but it's tight, very tight indeed. And again, they just slipped outside, but only a 1/10 of a second between Millie Boulding, our winner, and Abigail Parkinson. A 60.54 for Millie, and a 60.64 for Abigail. And that is just outside the personal best of the Tadcaster swimmer. Right, on to the 100 butterfly for boys. 8 heats of them to come. First one underway with 4 in there. I was expecting 5, so who are we missing? We've got Alfie Maguire, Jacob Goodwin, Solomon Hodgson, and Lewis Kessel. Those are your 3, 4, 5, and 6. And again, as often with the early heats, very little difference in their entry time, but quite a bit of difference on the first 50 with Alfie Maguire. He's entered on 121. He's gone very strongly over that first 50, and well, has he broken the back of the field already? Looks like he probably has. They're quite strung out behind him. Alfie Maguire will be looking to get under 120 if he can this morning, but he's now being closed down quite rapidly. You can see Solomon Hodgson just eating his way into that lead, and Hodgson, I think, is going to overtake him before he gets to the end. It's really difficult for Alfie Maguire, just going up and down, not going very far forwards. Lead to, however, is making progress and probably will overtake the Sunderland swimmer in the last 5 meters, and he does. 118.52 for Solomon, which is sizable improvement on what we've got entered as his time, 121.60. So Hodgson with a good 78.52. Looks like all lanes are occupied for heat number 2. There are the names. I will go through them in a more sedentary fashion. Joseph Pickering of Pocklington in 0, Daniel Barrett, Gateshead of Wickham 1, 2 Samuel Antrobus of Borough Stockton, Koresh Kodakar of City of Leeds 3, Jacob Brown Harrogate 4, Jad Idris, City of Leeds 5, Luke Gilliver of Dogs to Darts in 6, Rory Bryant of Borough Kirklees 7, Harry Senior, lane 8. I'm watching on beside me, getting, well, not too nervous, I hope. In lane 8 and 9 is Lewis Ramsey of Gateshead and Wickham. Our leader at 50 is Gilliver, Idris second, Antrobus in third, Barrett in 4. So this is potentially quite a tight affair, though. Gilliver's had a very good start, Dogs to Darts. It's on a 1:18.9. Not looking like he's going to let things go here. And Chad Idris is his closest adversary, but he's quite a way back, probably about a body length and a half, if anything. Remember how badly Alvin Maguire tied up at the end of the last one, but no signs of that happening to our winner, who is going to come from lane number 6, Luke Gilliver. In he comes in a 1:16.49. And second place going to Jad Idris and Koresh Kodakar in third. And Harry finishes 5th. Yeah, so Mum's okay. Yeah, she's nodding her head, happy with the 120. Happy-ish. It's around about his PP. Heat number 3. And 3's there, it's 4 there. Yes, no, I don't think he is. I think Toby Clausen is there. He wasn't there yesterday. I don't think he's there again today. So I think we've got an absent lane 4. Little problem with the timing device. I think for the moment we're just waiting for the ball to be cleared so we can get the next one underway. There are 8 heats of this in total. This will be heat number 3 when we get underway, but so there is no lane 4. But they are all much of a muchness time-wise anyway. No obvious standout swimmer in this one. Yeah, just a little delay here. Well, a few things are checked. So I won't give you the lineup until we've got everything resolved. But then the 9 who are competing in this heat, I will give you their names. Okay, there's a little bit of detritus in lane 7, so they're removing it. So that's why we can't start until they've fished that out. When they do, we can get underway. Right, all present and correct. We've got what do we need to resolve in the pool resolved, so we can get on with heat number 3. With the absence of lane 4, these are the others. Joshua Cusack Hughes of Doncaster Darts in 0. 1 is Roman Verreckel of North Tyneside. Angelo Gianni Contini, Gateshead and Wickham in 2. 3 is Blake Cooper of Derwentide. 5, Joshua Parker Hartlepool. 6, Charles Simpson of Chester Street. Jacob Callow of City of Sheffield in 7. 8 is Samuel Emmett, City of Leeds, and 9 is Tom Jobling of Durham City. Almost the first 50 of the 100 completed, and there are 3 going to the wall absolutely together, separated by 0.19 of a second. Angelo Gianni Contini just ahead of Callow, and then Joshua Parker in 3rd place, but very little to choose between them, and still not much between the swimmer closest to us in lane number 6. Joshua Parker as well. Joshua Parker, Charles Simpson, Jacob Callow, all pretty much in a line, and this is going to take maybe the touchpad to sort them out. Certainly 6 and 5. It's tight between Simpson and Parker, and there's 4 100s between them in the end. Charles Simpson getting there first, 1:15.42 compared to Joshua Parker's 1:15.46, where Jacob Callow less than 3/4 of a second behind in 3rd place. Was a DQ, and that's the last heat. Tom Jobling in lane 9 of Durham City will not get a time. Heat 4. So we have everybody in place. So here are the names: Thomas Miles of Harrogate, 0. James Hodgson, Newcastle 1. Morgan Swirls, Derwentide 2. Evan Sawdy of Gateshead and Wickham 3. Jack Ridley, Hartlepool 4. William Morris of Middlesbrough 5. 6 is Luke McGee of Sunderland. Sheffield's Benjamin Cross in 7. Gregor Batley of Alnwick in 8. And Daniel Jackson of Borough Kirklees is in 9. And our early leader coming from lane 2, Morgan Swirls of Derwentide, about a third of a second ahead of Jack Ridley. Ben Cross of Sheffield in 3rd place, all around the 1:14, 1:15 mark. We're not into these cyclically seeded, so they're all pretty tight in terms of time. But were we today, not the way our swimmer in lane 2 is going. Morgan Swirls with Derwentide. Well, I took out the first 75 very strongly, but you can see there's competition arriving, but arriving belatedly. They're not going to catch him. Harder they're trying. William Morris is going to get 2nd place, but our winner comes from lane 2. And that is a 1:09.84. Entered on a 1:15. Entered on 1:15, finished in a 1:09. So that's a huge drop down in time for the Derwentide swimmer. William Morrison 2nd, and 3rd Jack Ridley. So first sub 1:10. Oh boy, what a great swim from Morgan Swirls. Just have a really good chance of being in the 13-year-old final tonight. So Harrison Island of Rotherham Metro in 0. 1 is Joshua Sutcliffe of City of Leeds, Lewis Walligora Harrogate, Kenneth Kwan of City of Sunderland, Cohen Stevenson Doncaster Darts, Mikhail Iqbal of Stocksbridge. Thomas Maskell, Derwentsside. James Robinson, City of Leeds. Joshua Robinson of Derwentsside. And Joseph Pennock of Harrogate in 9. That's your lineup for heat number 5. And lane number 4 is the first to the wall at 50. That is Cohen Stevenson of Doncaster Darts. We've just seen his teammate do exceptionally well. See what he got in the tank. Well, I'll say that he really does give a lot. It's almost leaping out of the water like a salmon in terms of progressing through the water. And cuts down a little bit on the forward propulsion, but he's got enough to get him there. And Cohen Stevenson, Doncaster Darts, is going to touch the wall ahead of Thomas Maskell. And a 109.15, so yeah, a couple of seconds in the right direction from his entry time anyway. Second place is Thomas Maskell, and third is Joshua Sutcliffe. That's your 1, 2, 3 in heat number 5. Now into the cyclically seeded heats. Heat 6. Robbie Thompson, Borough of Stockton. Daniel Morris, Tynemouth. James Woods, Middlesbrough. Elliot Best, Newcastle. Callum Smart, Barnsley. Nathan Bunkle, Harrogate. Cameron Green of Bradford. Toby Mayfield of York City. Jonathan Eborn of Alnwick. And Elliot Watkins of Leeds. Oh. The fastest on paper. Could well be the fastest getting to the wall. Callum Smart with a 103.74. Well, no, not quite. It's Daniel Morris in A1 got there marginally ahead of him. But Smart is looking to rectify that before they get to the other end. But this is a terrific swim by Daniel Morris of Tynemouth down below us. But it's starting to come to a halt here because the bigger boys, the faster boys in the centre of the pool, starting to take over. Callum Smart and Nathan Bunkle. Smart has got this by almost a body length. Probably not quite as much at the end, but it'll still be quick. 104, 105, 103 in fact, even better. 103.76, which is just outside his best time. Nathan Bunkle in second and Elliot Best finishing third. No 3. Everybody else is in. Brodie Clark of Borough of Kirklees, Patrick Spate of Gateshead and Wickham, Adam Barrett, Gateshead and Wickham, Harry Nicholson, Chester Street, Thomas English, Chester Street 2 from Stockton, William Baines at Isaac Ripley, Jake Weldon and Jack Ashurst of Ashington in lane number 9. Harry Nicholson's done a 102.97, but will he be the first to the wall? I think just about ahead of Thomas English in lane number 5. Well, so he's a 1.02 behind. Well, look, there's 4 of them pretty much in a line. 4, 5, 6, 7. And don't discount what's happening down below. It's either in lane number 2 with Adam Barrett, but it does look like potentially lane 7, Isaac Ripley of Borough Stockton, or maybe William Baines. These seem to be changing hands over this last 50. But I'm looking at lane number 6. Maybe a surprise here from William Baines to get there to the wall first in a brand new personal best of 105.10. Second place, we'll wait for the computer to sort it out. Who is second? But William Baines is our winner, certainly. But Patrick Spate's got second place there, and third on the board goes to Isaac Ripley. So 103.76 is the quickest so far. Callum Smart in heat number 6. One more to come. No lane 0. Everybody else in place. So Arthur Llewellyn, Borough of Stockton. Jacob Grierson, Borough of Kirklees. Adam Strickland, Gateshead of Wickham. Ben Shelton, City of Leeds. Emilio Panigua Gutierrez of Leeds in 5. Jacob Elwell, Borough of Stockton. Harry Milner, City of Leeds. Thomas McDermott of Middlesbrough. And Henry Firth of City of Leeds. Those are your swimmers involved. It looks like a Leeds battle, a little club gala battle here between 4 and 5. Ben Shelton in 4, closest to us. Emilio Panigua Gutierrez in lane number 5. And it looks like those two are going to be scrapping for top honours here. At the moment it is Emilio Panigua Gutierrez who's got slightly the better of Ben Shelton, which on their entry times is somewhat surprising, but looks like he's going to go on and take this. He's got a big lead. He's not going to be overhauled here. As long as he can hold on to his final strokes here. Ben's trying to come back at him, but he's not being successful in that endeavour. So it will be Emilio who takes it with a 1:02.14. Entered on a 63.77. So it looks like that's heading massively in the right direction for him. And Shelton with a 1:02.84, which is slightly outside his entry time, but that's a terrific swim by Emilio. And that is the fastest time of the morning. 1:02.14. Right, on to the 200 backstroke for girls 11 to 14 years of age. There will be 9 heats of this. Thanks for all your feedback, by the way, from our coverage yesterday. Hope you're enjoying today's as well. We'll bring you all the races. We'll try and name all the swimmers where possible. In the sprint, isn't really possible. We don't have long enough to do that, but for the longer races, 100 and above, we will certainly name the swimmers at the start at least. And some of the smaller clubs love to get their mention because they maybe have a handful of swimmers here. And we are getting some good improvement, certainly on entry times this morning from quite a few of our swimmers. So we're extrapolating PBs into better times in the Leeds pool. Make sure the old backstroke blocks are in place to stop the potential slippage off the front of the blocks. Another great innovation last few years, which swimmers of the past used to say that when you're trying to push off to get as much propulsion as you can, sometimes the feet don't grip particularly well, but they do these days because of the new addition to the blocks on backstroke. So heat number 1, just checking that all of our swimmers are in place, and they seem to be, all 6. Daisy Purchase, Dogs to Darts in 2. Talia Malig of City of Sheffield in 3. Phoebe Bland of Newcastle 4. Poppy Ferns of Borough Stockton in 5. Holly Stoker, City of Sunderland in 6. Emily Oliver, Borough of Kirklees in 7. We were discussing yesterday, or talking about, areas of British swimming at the moment that could do with a little tweak in terms of getting a little bit more depth. Well, this is one of them. Most definitely the 200 backstroke is not a strong event. Was at one time with the likes of Gemma Spofford, of course, with the world record in the 100 and top competitor in the 200, but 100 and 200 backstroke is not a particularly strong event in British swimming for the women these days, or indeed for the men for that matter. So it'd be nice to look a little bit down the line and see where these 12-year-olds are going to get to by the time we get to Paris 2024 and maybe Los Angeles 2028. Halfway stage for our leader being Daisy Purchase of Dogs to Dart, who are having a good morning, the dart swimmers. A lead of 1.3 seconds after 100. And where's the threat likely to come from? Well, it could come, it's most likely to come from Holly Stoker at the moment. City of Sunderland at the top of your picture with the white cap. Daisy Purchase at 2:49. They're all pretty similar entry times, 2:48, 2:49. So Doesn't seem to be a great deal of discrepancy between them, but you can see it's getting tighter now between Daisy Purchase at the bottom of the screen and the white cap of Holly Stoker at the top of the screen. That's 0.6 of a second, so there's a big chunk taken out of the lead. And also be aware that Phoebe Bland, Newcastle, is coming through, but she might have given herself a little bit too much to do to win this. Time is obviously the key factor in the morning, because very few of these swimmers are going to progress till later on tonight. So try and get the best time you can. Daisy's is 2:49.70. Holly's is 2:49.50. So not much between them, and Phoebe's is 2:48.60. So I think we're in for a good time for Daisy here. 2:49.70 she's entered in on, and 2:47.11 is what she gets. So a couple of seconds in the right direction from her entry time. Holly Stoker second, Phoebe Bland in third. That's your 1, 2, 3 in heat number 1 of the 200 backstroke. Just checking to make sure that all 10 are in attendance. I'll give you the names. It's difficult to tell at this stage because they're staying back off their blocks a bit, but once we clear the pool, we'll know a little bit more about everybody being there. 241, 242, 243 range here for heat number 2. That's your lineup. All 10 seem to be in situ, ready to go. And these are they. Emily Hutchison of Hartlepool in 0-1 is Mariella Bizamu-Bootle of Derwentide. Seffi Ormston of Middlesbrough in 2. Molly Green, City of Leeds 3. Riona Sorinosos of City of Sunderland in 4. Olivia Phelan, Doctor Darts 5, Lydia Hall, Chester Street 6, Erin Russell, Derwentide 7, Maeve Carroll, City of Leeds 8, and 9 is Kasia Rickleton of City of Leeds. Well, the winner could come from anywhere, but at the moment looks like it's going to come potentially from lane 4. Rihanna Sorinosos of City of Sunderland on a 2:44 entry time. That's a good first 100. And hasn't quite broken the back of the field yet, but 1.12 is a decent lead to have at that stage. This will be 100, of course, when she comes down this end. Let's see whether she's managed to increase that and improve upon it. 1.12 was big. Doesn't look like he was really making much of an impression as yet. There are a couple of lanes up from Riona is Lydia Hall of Chester Street coming into second round. Top of the picture as well, Kasia Rickleton of City of Leeds. So that's your turn for Soraya Narsos. 2.18 is the advantage. So the answer to the fact is she improving and increasing that lead? Yes, she is. Visibly so, and the clock confirms that. Now you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, all pretty much within about 2 or 3 meters of each other, but nobody's getting close to our leader. She's pulling away, and that lead's still around about 2 seconds. It's probably 2 seconds and more, I think, at the 150 stage. Still Lydia Hall in the picture, and Erin Russell too. Yeah, ignore that. That's not giving us the proper differential on the splits. But you can see with your own eyes that lane number 4 has dominated from the start and continues to do so, though down below us, kind of out of sight, out of mind a little bit. Emily Hutchinson of Hartlepool, who's weaved her way through, made her way through the field a little bit. We're looking at the centre lanes, but centre lanes are falling back a bit, and Zero is catching. But our leader will hold on, though not by a sizable margin in the end. It's quite tight. Be good enough for Sorinosos to take it. 2:41.40. And I make that somewhere in the region of a 3-second PB, if 2:44 is correct entry time. So some of them are converted from short course, so they're not always totally accurate, but 2:44 is our best time before today. It isn't anymore. 2:41.40 for our winner. Heat number 3. Don't see any vacant lanes, so I think we've got all 10 ready to go. Here's the full lineup. Lee Pratt of Skipton in 0. 1 is Jessica Riley of Harrogate. 2 Leeds swimmers side by side, Martha Callahan and Philippa Bromley. Una Gregory of York City in 4. Elizabeth Russell, City of Leeds in 5. Elise Recroft of Gisborough in 6. 7 is Olivia Hidiat of City of Leeds. Libby Mundy of Grimsby in 8. And Hannah Redshaw of Middlesbrough in 9. And a couple of 2:41s in the field. 4 and 6 at the moment. Una Gregory of York City and Elise Recroft are the top 2. Recroft in lane 6 towards W picture, but that distinctive York City cap very prominent from Una Gregory. She's got a 2:41.6 as her entry time. And down below us again, your eyes tend to get trained on the centre lanes rather than looking at what's happening outside, but Jessica Riley of Harrogate is having a very good swim. The yellow cap this time Harrogate, not City of Leeds. And moving away through the field, and she will be on a par level, if not in the lead, at 100. I think she's, it's very tight. 13 100s between Una Gregory in the centre and Riley in lane number 1. Not much to choose between them. This is where the field might get a little bit more congested at the front. Una Gregory just about holding on, but it's marginal over Jessica Riley. And now coming to join Gregory is Philippa Bromley in lane number 3. Those 3 pretty much clear of everybody else, so shouldn't be anybody else in the frame at the end with 50 to go. Good positive swim by the York City swimmer. 2:41.6 her entry time. She's got about 1.5 seconds advantage over the rest. Bromley in 2nd in lane number 3, and Libby Mundy up there too. But leader, just want to make sure that she brings us back again. Not guaranteed by any means, because Jessica Riley is coming back immensely strongly for Harrogate. I think the race is running in terms of winning it for Martha Callahan, but look at this. Going to steal it at the close is Jessica Riley. Well done to her. 2:37.11, and Una Gregory in 2nd place. Well, they've both done new personal bests, sizable ones at that. 2:37.11 for Jessica Riley is about 6.5 seconds better than we've got for her entry time, and Una Gregory around about 4 seconds better. So 1 and 2 will be happy with their morning's work, as indeed hopefully will their coaches too. Fastest time of the morning thus far. Heat number 3, 2:37.11, with obviously much faster heats to come, cyclically seeded from heat 7 onwards. Thank again for your company this morning. I hope you're enjoying our transmission from Leeds of the Swim Northeast Regionals. Heat number 4. And once again, no absentees. Everybody ready to get underway, and they are. And they being Alyssa Palmer of City of Sunderland, Holly McDonald, City of Leeds, Rosie Smith, Morpeth Isabella Shearing of City of Sheffield, Holly Simeon of Richmond Dale, Emma Finley, Gateshead and Wickham, Brooke Inningworth of Durham City, Megan Sharp of City of Leeds, Emily Headley of Tynemouth, and Evie Glossop of City of Sheffield. Right, we go to the sideways on shot, gives us an idea of who is where. Holly Simeon having a good first 50, and she will turn ahead of the others, Rosie Smith being second place, and Isabella Shearing in third. But early stage, that's only the quarter way, of course, of the 200 backstroke. The centre lane with equal fastest time, actually. She and Emma Finley share that 2:40.30. But of the two of them, definitely Holly Simeon's having the better morning. She is a year older than is Emma. She's 2005 born, and where's the danger, the damage likely to come from? Could come from the outside lane, because good second 50 from Evie Glossop of Sheffield on the far side. She's a little bit adrift, but not a lot. We saw that ground can be made up fairly rapidly over the last 50, as long as you're in contention, and she is. Rosie Smith of Morpeth holding on to, just about holding on to third place, but Emily Headley of Tynemouth might have something to say about that. Our leader, however, coming right alongside now. Simeon and Glossop, nothing much between them. Glossop's almost there, and she turns in second place. So I can't give you her time, but she's certainly there. But now, is it going to turn to the centre lanes? Possibly might do with centre lanes number 2. Rosie Smith coming through. So you're going to look right across the field here. 9, 4 and 2 is what we're looking at. And whereas Holly Simeon had a big lead, that lead has been massively eaten into. I think she's just about going to hold on. It's going to be very tight between her and Rosie Smith, and Smith does get there just ahead of her with a 2:38.32, 2:38.7 for Holly Simeon, and Evie Glossop pretty much swimming her own race in the outside lane there. 2:39.32. She goes sub 2:40 for the first time.
Now on to heat number 5. You are under the control of the referee.
Do have an empty lane this time. No lane 9, but 0 to 8 are in place. She was just checking that the feet and hands are in the right place, and they are, so we can get underway. Gracie Beaumont, City of Bradford in 0. 1 is Freya Tyas of York City. Summer Thomas of City of Sheffield in 2. Martha Everett, City of Leeds, goes in 3. Alexa Page, Newcastle 4. 5, Isla Williams, City of Leeds. 2 Stockton swimmers side by side in 6 and 7. Chloe Ward, Abigail Slack, and Megan Burnell of Leeds is in lane 8. So there's a vacant lane 9. Certainly not a vacant lane 7, or lane 6 rather. Our leader comes from there at 50. That's There's Chloe Ward of Stockton. She with a white cap, really blazing the trail here. 2:38.71 is the time she has entered in on, but if she can keep this momentum going, she can win this by quite a sizable distance. We'll see whether that stroke can carry on. It's not, in terms of her body, it's not the most streamlined. There's quite a bit of bounce in it. She rocks quite a bit. You can see the difference in the style, but you know, it's getting it done. It's all power. It's the upper arms. So the hips are involved as well. But you can see, if you look at the other two swimmers, they're yes, making a bit of a rocking motion, but she really is kind of bouncing like a cork on the top of the water. But yeah, it's effective and it's happening and it's working. And she is getting the job done, moving through pretty closely to the 150 turn now. Last few meters before she gets there, and she is holding on. Here's Chloe Ward, Barrow Stockton. There she goes, 156, 171 in terms of time between first and second, so that should be enough for her to hold on. Now, of course, the target will be to try and get something much quicker than she's ever been before. 2:38.71 is what she's done. She's disappearing out of our picture. That's how far ahead she's now gone. Chloe Ward, very impressive display this. Now, if she can keep this going to the end, she's going to knock a few seconds off her personal best. 2:38.71 it was. 2:35 maybe, 2:36? 2:36. Yeah, it's good. And nice little incision into that previous best time. Quickest of the morning now, 2:36.45. Summer Thomas with 2:37. That's another improvement for her. And third place to Gracie Beaumont in lane 0 for the city of Bradford. Everybody clear, so we can move on for heat 6. Looks like everybody is in place. Can't see a gap. Nope, all there. So the 10 who are about to compete in heat number 6 in just a moment. There they are on the screen. Who your favourite is. And we have a daughter in this race or a friend in this race. Well, you can cheer them through the TV or cheer them through your laptop or whichever device you're watching this coverage on. May not be able to hear, but they'll feel it in spirit, I'm sure. Fastest in the field is Ella Bainbridge, but only marginally. So Faith Blaine in 0, Jenna Dougal 1 for Derwent's side, Holly Richardson, Newcastle in 2, Edith Hodgson of Borough of Kirklees 3, Ella Bainbridge I mentioned, Cleethorpes 4, Mia Boyle, York City 5, Freya Johnson of City of Leeds in 6, 7 is Isabel Schimmels of Kingston upon Hull, 8 Louisa Ibbison of Harrogate, 9 is Sally Rutledge of Borough of Kirklees. Our leader at 50, Ella Bainbridge of Cleethorpes. She's got marginally the quickest time, but nothing marginal about this swim in terms of advantage over the rest of the moment. It's a good 2 body lengths to the nearest challenger. We have to look to the top of the pool for that. To Isabel Schimmels. So Ella Bainbridge turns now. Gap is 3 seconds. 3.08. Jenna Dougal in lane 1. Second, and Mia Boyle in third. But look at this. This is a procession. She is, well, it was about 2 or 3 body lengths. Now something like 5 meters clear of the rest of the field. And seemingly going away. 2, 3 and 4 are pretty closely locked together. But our winner, I think I can call her the winner, provided she doesn't get DQ'd with 50 to go, because she has a lot of clear water between herself and her nearest challenger. And the nearest challenger will be Mia Boyle of York City at this stage. But she is 5.24 behind. Massive margin on this race. 5.24 between our leader and second place. She's almost in a different race here. Now, that would indicate to me that 2:36 will be a thing of the past. 2:36 will be massively eaten into in terms of her personal best here. And that lead, if anything, looks to be getting bigger. It's going to be a sizable improvement. And you know what? This is going to be one of the big improvements of the morning. 2:30, for our winner, 2:30.96. Now, her previous best time was 2:36.40 according to the entry time, and she has won that by, we'll wait for everything to turn around, because I think Mia Boyle, she's given the third fastest time, Jenna Dougal just overtaking her at the end, but look at that. We are looking at 6.5 seconds between our winner and second place, 2:30.93. So 6 seconds virtually in the right direction for Ella Bainbridge. I think Cleethorpes' coach will be mighty happy with that. Fastest time by quite some way this morning, with cyclically seeded heats to come, so obviously that won't remain the fastest time, but 2:30 for the 14-year-old will give her a very good chance of making the final tonight, I think. We'll see. A few names that you will already be familiar with from this weekend coming up next. And all 10 in place. Heat number 7. Lauren Smith leads Olivia Cattery of Newcastle, Madison Peveler of Weir Valley, Amelie Turner of City of Leeds, Amelia Robertson, I beg your pardon, from Tynemouth in 4. 5 is Charlotte Thompson, Loftus Dolphins, then 2 from Kingston upon Hull, Lucy Curran, Taylor Ross, Anna O'Brien, Newcastle, and Lily Bryant of Borough Kirklees. Now we're into the cyclically seeded heat, so we should have a fair idea from that who is potentially the best in the field. It should be lane 4, but 4 and 5 are absolutely locked together going into the first turn. 0.35 between Charlotte Thompson, who on paper has the second quickest time, behind Amelia Robertson, but that's not the way it looks at 50. Early stages, of course, yet there's plenty of others in the field ready to knock on the door, but at the moment it is 5 and 4. Charlotte Thompson, Loftus Dolphins ahead of Amelia Robertson, and the others all pretty much in a chevron. Little arrowhead formation there as they go into the wall for the halfway stage. And Thompson leads by 0.87 from Amelia Robertson. Amelie Turner, Lucy Curran, that's your top 4. Is this going to be the decisive move from our swimmer in lane 5? She certainly wants to break the back of the rest, because there's 3 now in the line, all racing each other, but she's racing herself, and racing the clock is the swimmer in lane number 5. Charlotte Thompson of Loftus Dolphins having a terrific swim here, 2:25.89 she's entered in on, and there's what, 3 going over pretty much together, separated by about 0.7, but she's got a 2.77 advantage. We're seeing a bit of a pattern emerging here in the girls 200 back this morning. The winner is winning it by a sizable margin, and we're going to see the same thing happen again here with Charlotte Thompson in lane number 5, and she's not going to let anybody get anywhere near her. So what kind of time can she clock here? 2:26 it is for Charlotte Thompson. It looked quicker than it actually turned out to be. 2:26.47. It's not as quick as she has been, but still, look at the lead and the winning margin over the rest. Nearly 5 seconds over Lucy Curran. Amelie Turner in 3rd place. And maybe a bit of a disappointment for Amelia Robertson this morning, because she was quickest on paper, but 2:32 for her. Yeah, all present and correct for heat number 8 of 9. So we're looking at Leah Schlossen of City of Leeds, Ella Stabler of York City, Evie Barber of Grimsby, Libby Freeman of Tynemouth, Gideas Hodgson, City of Leeds with a 2:23.4 fastest entry time. Annabelle Wilkinson of City of Sheffield, Sophia Bazaraba of City of Bradford, Isabel Hextall of Kingston upon Hull, Borough of Stockton's Georgia Hadley in 8, and Beth Hall of Grimsby. There they are, and there's the first 50 completed for our leader. Lane 5 will get there just ahead of lane 1, so it's Annabelle Wilkinson just going in before Ella Stabler of York City. Again, York having a good morning. York, a club that punches above its weight in a lot of ways in terms of the calibre and quality of swimmers they produce. It's getting rather bunched up in the centre now, isn't it? Between lanes 4, 5, 6, 7, and indeed lane 1. So who's going to get there first? Well, it's between 4 and 5, potentially 1 as well. 3 of them going to the wall. What's the gap? 0.34. Gideas Hodgson in a home pool for City of Leeds, leading from Ella Stabler of York City and Wilkinson in 5. But it's a very tight affair, and they may well be joined by a couple of others before long here. It's not as clear cut as a couple of the other races we've had in the 200 back so far. Winner could come from any one of about 4 potential lanes. Gideas Hodgson should have this nailed. I think she's maybe made the decisive move now with 150 to go, but hasn't yet shaken off Ella Stabler. Annabelle Wilkinson, City of Sheffield, might have still something to say about that, as potentially could Libby Freeman of Tynemouth, but I think our winner's got this under control. All she'll care about now, apart from winning it, is what kind of time she can post. She'll have seen some of the previous heats and we'll know what's in her repertoire for this morning. Won't need to bust a gut, just post something nice and within range of a personal best, and she's not going to be a million miles outside it. 2:25.88. Ella Stabler holding on for second place. Annabelle Wilkinson for third. Pretty big gap in the end, just over 2 seconds between our top 2, and then just over a second back to third place, but that'll do nicely for Gideas at heat time. Improve on that 2:25.88 tonight, which she will need to do, I think. She'd like to be up against Abigail Miles, who has gone just a little bit quicker than she. She's in the final heat as Abigail. Quite a few 2004 borns in this. Lucy Headley, Madison Turner, Heidi Warren, all 2004. Sheer lineup for any potential empty lanes, but I think everybody is with us, and they are. So once the starter has given them the move, I will give you the 10. Sophie Bromley, City of Sheffield in 0. 1 is Lucy Headley of Tynemouth, Madison Turner of Skipton, Lara Thompson of City of Leeds. Fastest in the field, Abigail Miles of City of Sheffield, Ella Cooper, City of Leeds in 5. Evie Dilley, Middlesbrough 6. Neem Carroll, City of Leeds 7. 8 is Heidi Warren of Cleethorpes, and Iona Logan of City of Leeds goes in lane number 9. Very prominent cap of Ella Cooper, I can notice, going down the first 50, and she has got the better in the first quarter of the race anyway, over Abigail Miles, who's back in third place. Second is Madison Turner, and looking good is Ella Cooper on a 2:25.23 entry time. Well, she's got about a body length just about advantage over the City of Sheffield swimmer to her right, just 1 lane down below her, and Keep an eye on lane number 2, Madison Turner, Skipton, who's still very much in the mix. And here's the City of Leeds swimmer who is heading the field, not by a great deal. And we're only halfway, remember. Abigail Miles will try and make a move, but she can't because the lead swimmer has made a very big move off that turn. A very good turn it was too, and she probably took about a body length out of the Sheffield swimmer on that turn and has given herself quite a bit of clear water in the lead. Sheffield swimmer is holding on to second place. The challenge for her coming from lane 2 from Madison Turner of Skipton. I don't think anybody else is really going to be in the frame here. It should potentially now be Ella Cooper against the clock, which should be with a 3-second advantage. And those turns are so good. And once she gets into that stroke, she's very powerful pulling away as well. Might be a bit of danger for Abigail Miles here. Potentially, but no, I think she's okay for second. So 1, 2 and 3 look pretty much secured. Certainly the winner is going to win this by a big margin. Now, entry time for Ella, 2:25.23. Well, I think she's going to be inside that. She is going to be inside that. How much inside that? 2:23.74. That's good. Fastest time of the morning. And I make that probably around about 1.5 second improvement, certainly on her entry time anyway. Second go to Abigail Miles, third to Madison Turner. Actually 1, 2, 3, final heat of the 200 backstroke for girls 11 to 14. 9 heats of the 200 breaststroke for boys coming up next. So where is the next Michael Jameson? Where's the next Ross Murdoch going to emerge from? Will we see them today in the next 9 heats? All the 7 we expected to be there are there. So I will name them for you. George Brooks, City of Leeds, in 1. He's the 11-year-old. There are 2 11-year-olds in this field. Anthony Collinson of City of Sunderland goes in 2. Angelo Gianni Contini of Gateshead and Wickham, 3. Benjamin Hartridge of Tynemouth, 4. Camitha Mudledge of Newcastle in 5. Jacob Brown, Harrogate, 6. Alistair Hartworth of Tynemouth in lane 7. Looking at the times that have been supplied to us, entry times for all these swimmers. 3:17.3 is the best on paper from our swimmer in lane number 4, but he is not leading at the 50. Anthony Collinson of City of Sunderland is, with a 3:18 to his name. So I imagine could get 2 or 3, maybe 4 here, improving on their times. Big challenge coming down from lane 2. Anthony Collinson is the closest challenger to our early leader. Looks to have a very nice stroke. As breaststrokes develop as the swimmers get older and they get a bit more upper body strength, but that all seems to be quite rhythmic and quite smooth from lane 5. So Collinson up on your screen has been top, but I think we'll find lane 5, Camitha Mudledge of Newcastle is our quickest swimmer at the moment. Got a bit of an advantage. Anthony Collinson of City of Sunderland is second place, although he's being closed down quite rapidly now by Alistair Hartworth in the outside lane. Our leader though, been our leader for quite some time. Don't think he's going to get overhauled here unless he starts to really spin in the water over the last 50. Looks like this is his for the taking. Camitha Mudledge of Newcastle, followed by Sunderland's Anthony Collison, and then it is Angelo Gianni Contini of Gateshead and Wickham. So northeast 1, 2, 3 here. Mudledge 3:17.80. Always intrigued with these kind of races to see how much the early heats can start to break down their personal best. Well, he's won this by, I want to say, a sizable margin. Alistair Hartworth is making strides, but he's not going to get very close to our winner, but he might well secure second place. Now, keep an eye on that clock. 3:17 before today, 3:10 today for Kamitha Mudledge, 3:10.48. And Hartworth does get second at 3:16, which is 2.5 seconds inside his entry time as well. As he got some of the 3:18 in third place. That's right on his entry time, in fact, just a little bit outside it. All 10 we were expecting to be in heat number 2 are here, and here they are. Samuel Antrobus of Borough of Stockton, Kurush Kodakar of City of Leeds in 1, Nicholas Honeybone of Doxter Darts in 2, James Plant, Borough of Kirklees 3, Jacob Goodwin, City of Leeds 4, Regan Peel, Borough of Stockton 5, Lewis Horner of Middlesbrough in 6, and 7 is City of Leeds Nathan Dulay, Charles Simpson of Chestnut Street in 8, and Isaac Stabler, York City in lane number 9. 3:14s up to 3:17s in terms of entry time. Lane 3 has got the best of the first 50. That is James Plant of the Borough of Kirklees. The 200 breast changes rapidly, can change every 50. I haven't seen that. People with very fast finishes, some people like to take it out quite quickly, some people just like to stroke into it. James Plant just holding on, but it's going to have company very soon, if not right now. It's got company on the far side of the ball from Isaac Stabler of York City in lane number 9. In fact, Stabler may well have got ahead of him now. There's 4 of them in a line. The sideways on shot will tell us whether that orange cap is ahead, and he is just, I think, on that little echelon. Isaac Stabler will get to the wall just ahead of James Plant. He does by 0.3 of a second. And then Regan Peel and Lewis Horner. Halfway stage though, and a lot will still change over the next 100. Like 2 races in one very often, the breaststroke, as the stronger swimmers come to the fore in the second 100. And Isaac Stabler, who's only 11 years of age, is up against quite a few 12-year-olds here, so age might be against him, but his swimmer's not against him. He's still ploughing on very well, quite relentlessly there, and is holding on nicely. Lane 6, Lewis Horner, not making much impression on him yet. Neither is James Plant. How big is the lead? About half a second over Plant and then Peel. I want to ask of our front runner in the outside lane, who has absolutely no idea what's happening elsewhere because he's right out there in the boonies, but he's doing the job. But they are starting to just edge back towards him, I think. Gutsy little performance this from Isaac Stabler, the 11-year-old from New York City. If he can hold on to this, it will be a very creditable performance, because he is the slowest in the field on entry time, but he is winning this, and he is not wanting to relinquish this if he possibly can. I think he's got it. I think he's just about got it. It's going to be very tight, because Regan Peel is coming right back there. Peel might steal it away from him, and he does in a 3:11.40. Stabler 3:12.07. Well, all credit to him for 5 seconds inside his entry time, and nearly brought that home
referee.
A lot of potential there, obviously. And Regan Peel with a 3:11 and 3:14 he's entered in on, so that's 3 seconds in the right direction too from that. So next time his entry time will be 3:11.40. He might get a chance to swim again later on today. He's part of the 11-year-old brigade, so yeah, every chance we might see him later today. Heat 3. Wait for everybody to emerge to make sure that there is no absentees. And no, everybody in, so I can tell you who they are. Chad Idris of Leeds in 0. Matthew Atkinson, Borough of Stockton in 1. 2 is Noel Cooper, Hartlepool. 3, Colby McKim of Chester Street. 4 is Gregor Batley of Alnwick. 2 Gateshead and Wickham swimmers next to each other. Lewis Ramsey and Evan Sawdy. Reese Blackett, Newcastle. Henry Firth, City of Leeds. And Tantai Bennett of Harrogate. There you go. That's your lineup as they finish the first 50. Our leader at 50 is Noel Cooper of Hartlepool. So there's Gregor Batley. Colby McKim in 3rd place, but risk of repetition as we saw. Breaststroke changes quite a bit. Or potentially can change quite a bit over the course of 200 in particular. So we might see Noel Cooper at the front now. The 13-year-old might just be setting the pace up and setting the race up for swimmers on the other side of the pool, namely in this case Gregor Batley of Alnwick in lane number 4 is coming through to take over the lead at 100. In between the two of them is Colby McKim of Chester Street, and Batley leads by about half a second from the rest of the field. Now, who's got the strength and endurance to push on in the second part of the 100 breast? Could be quite a few battling out for second place, but there looks to be one swimmer emerging as the strongest in here, and that definitely is Gregor Batley of Alnwick Dolphins. It's on 3:10.19, and seems to be pulling away, but again, we always have to look at the top of the field to make sure nobody in the outside lanes is coming through with a late burst. Henry Firth could be that man in lane 8. He's moved up into 2nd place now, and looks to be just edging into that lead slightly. The big lead though. Atkinson in 1 as well, but our 2nd place swimmer is up there in lane number 8. Now, has he got enough time to overhaul our leader? Not sure that he has. Gregor Batley, I think, has got enough to hold on here for Alnwick Dolphins. So 3:10 is what we've got him down as in terms of a personal best. Again, just keep an eye on Henry Firth. It's not massively behind our leader, but he's going to be far enough behind. And the same applies to Matthew Atkinson. They're not going to catch him. 3:08.84 will do nicely. 3:10 entry time. 3:08 for Gregor Batley. 2nd is Henry Firth at the top of your screen. And 3rd is Matthew Atkinson in lane number 1.
Well done, swimmers. We move on now to heat number 4. You are under the control of the referee.
Heat number 4 to come. 4 of 9. Was DQ, by the way, to Jan Idris in that previous heat. Moving on to heat number 4. Bit of a slow start from lane number 8, but everybody else in on time. More or less, he's got a bit of catching up to do already for William Oliver. Doesn't quite hear the starter, and everybody else has probably made up about 2 meters on him. But anyway, the rest of the field: Daniel Jackson, Borough of Kirklees in 0. Benjamin Fish, Anik Dolphins in 1. Benjamin Rogers in 2 for Borough of Stockton. 3 is Ryan Negum of City of Sunderland. Romir Amin, City of Sheffield in 4. Olivia Dodsworth of City of Sunderland. 6 is Ethan Stannard, Borough of Stockton. 1 of City of Sunderland. William Oliver, Skipton 8. And Darish Kodakar of City of Leeds in 9. First 75 we're coming up to in this heat of the 200 breaststroke. And there's 3 pretty much in a line here. 2, 3, and 6. So we've got Benjamin Fish, Benjamin Rogers, and Ethan Stannard, all very close together. And in fact, there's now 4 pretty much together. 2, 3, 5, and 6. Fish, Rogers, Dodsworth, and Stannard, and Negum, City of Sunderland, just getting to the wall ahead of Stannard. But look at that, top 4 separated by half a second. The second half of the race has changed complexion of most of the previous heats, so expect something similar from this one. Can we look on the call, because it looks like the far side of the ball is where the potential winner is emerging from. Is that going to be Ethan Stannard, or could it be lane 5, Oliver Dodsworth? 6 and 5 together, going in with 100 with 50 to go in this one. 1.13 between Dodsworth and Negum. Rogers is only slightly behind, and Amin and Kodakar. And last 25 is going to be a very tight little affair here, certainly between those 2 on the far side, Dodsworth and Stannard. Dodsworth nearest us in lane number 5, Stannard in 6, nodding together, going together, side by side, last few meters. Going to get around about that 3-minute mark if they can. And it's going to be just outside the 3, but there's your winner. Dodsworth 3:01, Stannard 3:02. I'm going to take you a little break. I'll be back with you in a couple of minutes.
Well done, swimmers. When I want to heat number 5, you are under the control of the referee.
So Morgan Swirls, the 2:58. Fastest time of the morning, as you'd expect, as we work our way through the heats. Heat number 6 of the 200 breaststroke for boys. We will have an empty lane as advised. So Rowan Smith, Harrogate 0, Harrison Island of Rotherham Metro 1. 2 is Jack Ridley of Hartlepool. 4 Luke Booth, Rotherham. 5 Elliot Watkins of Leeds. 6 Jake Hewitt of Morpeth. 7 Oliver Carr of Darlington. 8 is Ben Croft of Stocksbridge, and 9 is Chase Darby of Middlesbrough. 200 breast for the boys, which is our first sub-3 swim in the previous heat. And we're looking across to lane number 8, Stocksbridge's Ben Croft. Good first 50 from him. Elliot Watkins about 3/4 of a second further back. Oliver Carr in third. And Luke Booth has the fastest entry time at 2:58.3. Now starting to make his way through, and this is going to be one of those heats, you think, where maybe 5, maybe 6, all going to be of a similar kind of time. All trying to make their way into the afternoon finals. And look, from the top of the picture right down to the bottom of the picture, there's quite a few swimmers involved at the front. Leeds probably going to change hands again. Almost certainly will here, with Elliot Watkins of Leeds moving into the lead at the halfway stage by 0.14 from Ben Croft. Then comes Jake Hewitt. Oliver Carr in fourth. This race is not done yet, unless we can see potentially a decisive 50 here. Elliot Watkins on 2:58.5. Yeah, he's looking as though he's quite purposeful and wants to make sure there's nobody around him when it comes to the turn. Trying to go with him is Jake Hewitt from Morpeth to his left at the top of the picture in lane number 8, Ben Croft of Stocksbridge. But the lead swimmer would appear, even at this stage, to have this one not quite sewn up, but getting close to it. 2:08.70 for Elliot Watkins. And it's Jake Hewitt, followed by Ben Croft. And this lead swimmer just put a kick in that's going to make sure that nobody gets anywhere near him. Looks like it. Still a little bit to do, still a little bit to go, but Elliot Watkins seems to have stopped the potential advance of Jake Hewitt in this race to first place at least. He seems to have second place secured. Getting reasonably tight, but not uncomfortably so for our winner. So Elliot Watkins will get there in a 2:52.08. As I say, that kind of tone of voice is that he's entered on 2:58. So 2:52 would appear to be quite a big step in the right direction for Elliot. Jake Hewitt in second, and Luke Booth in third place for Rotherham. 3 more to come. Heat number 7. First of the 3 cyclically seeded heats. DQ for Chase Darby in the outside lane for Middlesbrough in the previous heat. Heat 7, Dominic Mathias, City of Leeds, Ben Shelton, City of Leeds, Jack Wood, Grimsby, Martin Smith, Borough of Kirklees, Christian Ryan of Tynedale, Aidan Fothergill, Team Jorvik, Blaine Underwood, Doxter Darts, Dominic Anderson of Norpeth, Thomas McDermott of Middlesbrough, and Ben Swan of the Borough of Stockton. That's heat number 7's lineup for you. Seeing them get towards the first 50 split. And the person in pole position is lane 4, That's Christian Ryan of Tyndale. 2-second advantage at that split over Blaine Underwood. That's the more battling for second, third. Of course, final positions is what's at stake here. Let's see, want to bust a gut in the morning. Just need to do what you need to do to qualify for later on today. So Ryan has a 2:40.87 entry time. We expect that to get into the 2:30s hopefully later, maybe even this morning. He's got this race by the scruff of the neck. Second will be Aidan Fothergill, Blaine Underwood in third, and Martin Smith in fourth. But again, we have a dominant swimmer in this one, and really starting to turn it on in the second 100 as well. Looking to make sure that nobody goes with him and nobody really puts too much pressure on him. He can swim his own race and start to ease away from the chasing pack, and that's exactly what he is doing. Aidan Fothergill trying to go with him, but not particularly successfully at the moment. 2 to 3 body lengths advantage from 4 to 5. So what kind of times are you going to turn in here? Under the 2, under the 1:59. So well, he should be able to. Yeah, he should be able to get inside 2:40 here. You think? Certainly the way he's going, the way he's cracking on here. 2:40 is definitely within his compass. Aidan Fothergill has second place nailed. Now it's a question of whether Christian Ryan's given himself just a little bit too much to do to hold on to that stroke rate. Now that 2:40 is going to go. That 2:40 is going to go substantially too. Look at a 2:37 here probably. 2:38 just crept into the 2:38s, but I'll tell you what, he'll take that. 2:38.03 compared to a 2:40, so everything heading in the right direction. Aidan Fothergill just a bit slower than he has been before, but that winning time is the best by quite some way this morning. 2:38.03. Very good. Christian Ryan beautifully swum too. Tyndale will be I'm sure delighted by his performance. 2:38. See you in the the following 2 heats. Whether that can be broken, should be. Ryan Zhao has a 2:35 to his name, though don't expect him to go maybe quite that quick this morning. Emilio Benigua Gutierrez, who's had a lot of swimming this weekend, plenty of events, is back at the pool again. He'll be in lane 4. Fastest of the entries in heat 8. Yep, all the swimmers we expected to be in there are in there, and these are they. Thomas Wilkinson, City of Sheffield in 0. 1 is Matthew Slater, North Tyneside. Lewis Baker, City of Sheffield in 2. Roman Wallace Barnsley in 3. Emilio Benigua Gutierrez of City of Leeds in 4. City of Bradford's Cameron Green in 5. 6 Thomas Plant, Harrogate. Jack Senior, City of Leeds 7. Thomas Bergman of Sheffield City in lane 8, and Benjamin Hughes of Grimsby in 9. Early leader, 50 split. Here's Roman Wallace. Emilio Benigua Gutierrez with a time that is, well, a second quicker than Cameron Green, and 4 seconds quicker than Roman Wallace, so I expect that to be the Leeds swimmer dominating. He's starting to now. Didn't lead at 50, but will certainly give you a lead at 100 here. Roman Wallace just trying to keep pressure on him, but you can see that Emilio just once he gets into that stroke and it's rhythmic and it's working, just strokes away from the opposition and has a couple of body lengths advantage at 100 in terms of time, 2.34, and about the same gap between second and third, back to Matthew Slater. Leader is looking very good indeed, and he has had a lot of swimming this weekend and multiple events, so there's every reason to feel quite tired, but not looking it. 2:40.31 is Emilio Benigua Gutierrez's time, his best time. I'll see what he can do off this turn. Yeah, do you know what? That 240 is under threat. If he wants to go for it, he may not want to. He may want to, especially with all the swimming he's had, keep a little bit in the tank for tonight. Wallace is 5 seconds behind, and then the rest are about another 3 seconds behind. So I'm intrigued to see what kind of time Emilio Benigua Gutierrez can do here. Should be getting close, should be getting under that 240, shouldn't he? With a bit of time to spare. Dominated this race from 50 onwards, really didn't lead at 50, but ever since he's been in control. That 240 is under threat. Probably about 239. He's going to be right on the cusp of that 240. 239, done it. Just snuck underneath it. 239.99 for our winner. Look at the gap to second place. It's nearly 10 seconds. Nearly 10 seconds between first and second place. Raymond Wallace, I don't think quite knew what had hit him there as he came through. Thought, right, I should be competitive here, but 10 seconds nearly between our leader and second place, and he's gone sub 240, I think, for the first time.
Well done, swimmers. We now move to the final heat of this event. This is heat number 9. You are under the control of the referee.
Even though it's only 1/100th, it's under 240, 239.99. I'll talk about swimmers doing multiple events this weekend. Ryan Zhao back in the pool again, looking for another title. His fastest on paper. As we've seen in the IM, his breaststroke is devastating. We've seen it for 50 meters in the 200 IM, but once he gets his breaststroke done, it's really smooth, it's very rhythmical. It doesn't have any jerky motions in it at all. It's quite streamlined. Everybody else, you look at it, everybody else is working so hard, whereas he isn't. It's just a motion that gets the job done. Arms go out in front of him. Nice wash of the water as he projects himself towards the wall. A couple of times in the first couple of days, he's not quite got his finish right, or he's not been aware that there's been danger lurking, and he's finished in second place. But I don't expect him to make that kind of mistake here, because I don't think anybody's going to get close enough to him to allow that mistake to be made. Already, as you can see, every stroke it seems like there's a few more centimetre advantage, but somebody's going to want to take him on. After the well, it might be that man in lane number 5, or potentially it could be Barnaby Howarth Osborne of Sheffield in lane 3, possibly, but it's all quite comfortable at the moment for Ryan Zhao. Gap is 2.9, and then there's a phalanx of swimmers coming behind, but that shot will tell you that Ryan Zhao has disappeared out of our shot into the new one, and this is actually where he gets strongest. I didn't see much of him yesterday on the breaststroke, because it was only part of his IM, but on the 200 breaststroke, again, a case of not really having to overexert this morning, just do what he has to do. Don't expect 235 or anything like it. Probably about 237 or 8 on that split, and the other two behind will hope that they can be competitive enough to get into that final. They should both get that. Arthur Llewellyn of the Borough of Stockton in lane number 5, one up from Zhao, and one below is Barnaby Howarth Osborne. So I said 237. I always like to make an estimate, but if he turns off the burners here, it could spread out to a 2:39, but 2:37 would be good. 2:37 is most likely where it's going to finish. And here he comes with 2:37.59 for our winner. Winning it by 3 seconds nearly from Barnaby Howarth Osborne. Arthur Llewellyn in third place. So fastest time of the morning comes in heat number 9 from Ranjao in lane 4. And that's all confirmed. We don't get any DQs. Ranjao will go into our final as the fastest. Not confirmed on the board yet though. There's a DQ. Lewis Ainley, our City of Leeds, does not get a time. Right, 10 heats of the girls 200 meters individual medley. 3 in the first. And these are the names. Jessica Riley closest to us in lane 3 from Harrogate. Mayor Griffiths, City of Bradford in the middle. Lauren Heppel of Chester Street on the far side. All year of birth 2006. All with entry times of 2:49. Just going to break out of that 2:49 pack. At the moment, it looks potentially like Bing. So we're in 5. Lauren Heppel. Yeah, of course, it's so difficult to predict because everybody has stronger strokes. Some people's butterfly is strong. Some people's breaststroke is strong. At the moment, we have 2. Those backstroke seems to be working pretty well, very effectively for Jessica Riley. Maybe a butterfly wasn't quite as good, but backstroke is better. And she's slipped into the lead. Head of our Sura in 5, Lauren Heppel. We're towards the halfway stage of the first of the 200 IM heats. She'll be there by 2 to 3 seconds. 3 seconds for Heppel, the advantage from Riley, and then Griffiths in third place. That's a Harrogate swimmer with the yellow cap. Working her way through nicely on the breaststroke, not relinquishing much of that lead, though you can see that Mayor Griffiths feels more comfortable on the breaststroke because she was quite tailed off before, but she's starting to work her way through the field just a little bit. She's given herself too much to do to overhaul Jessica Riley, you'd think, but getting closer to Lauren Heppel with most strokes now. But the back of the race has been broken by Jessica Riley, who just needs to finish it off on the front crawl now. 50 to go for our leader. Somebody's won the balls. Jessica Riley. It's got this licked. Apart from that first 50 where a butterfly had her in second place. Since then, the backstroke and the breaststroke and the freestyle all working to her advantage. Now, she's got 2:49 entry time, and she's going to be inside that. By how much? 2:46.60 is the answer. So, about 3.3 seconds in the right direction for Jessica Riley and Lauren Heppel in second place.
Moving straight on to heat number 2, you are under the control of the referee.
On to heat number 2. 200 IM. Now, Yes, so you may recall I wasn't able to give you the full name of our swimmer in lane 0. I can now. It sounded quite rude not to be able to do that, so I can. Henrietta Richardson Selby is her full name, from Grimsby. Unfortunately, because her name is so long, it doesn't fit on our sheet of paper, so the Selby becomes S. But we do know, and she's leading. Well, she's second, or is she leading? She was up there, but not showing on our screen, unfortunately. But Henrietta Richardson Selby, Grimsby was either first or second in that butterfly turn. Now, Rihanna Sorianos of City of Sunderland 1, Charlotte Bianchi, City of Sheffield 2, Kate Fenton of Skipton in 3, Emma Finley, Gateshead and Wickham in 4, Erin Russell, Derwentsside 5, Hannah Redshaw of Middlesbrough in 6, Maddie Wilson, Tynemouth in 7, Millie Kenley of Borough of Stockton in lane 8. So our leader at halfway, Erin Russell of Derwentsside, Rihanna Sorianosos of City of Sunderland in second place, and Henrietta Richardson Selby, glad I've got a full name today because she's doing very well. She's up into second place, so breaststroke is working well, and she's just moving past Rihanna Sorianosos of City of Sunderland. Our leader is there in the centre of your picture in red. That's Erin Russell of Derwentsside, but Henrietta is second place after the breaststroke leg. Last 50 to come. Russell, then Richardson Selby. Maddie Wilson in third place. All born in the year 2006, so they'll use Jessica Riley's time as a marker because she was 2:46.60 she did. Well, this will be a little bit quicker for Erin Russell. How much quicker we'll find out in due course, but 2:46.6 took the first heat. This will be around about 2:42, 2:43, you would think. 2:42.24 is the answer to the question. And that is a 4-second improvement on paper. Maddie Wilson in second place. Third going to Kay Fenton. That's your 1, 2, 3. A lot of Sheffield and quite a bit of Leeds. In fact, equal participation from the two big clubs in Yorkshire. Heat number 3. Jasmine Ball of Barnsley. Emily Oliver, Borough Kirklees. And we have 3 Sheffield swimmers all together. Isabella Shearing, Jessie Finley, Isla Jones, and 2 lead swimmers side by side, Molly Green, Philippa Bromley, India Bryant, Chesters next up, and then another lead swimmer, Kasia Rickleton in 8, Naomi Parker, Gateshead and Wickham in 9. That's a flying first 50 from the swimmer in 4, Isla Jones. Well, she's the 11-year-old we've been talking about from City of Sheffield. First couple of days, she impressed yesterday. She impressed her coaches because she's the one of the youngest competing here. She looks really good, really determined as Isla Jones. Now she's only on the 2:42. I wouldn't mind betting that 2:42 is going to be a thing of the past after this, because I think she's going to get down to around 2:39, 2:40 if she keeps going like that, provided of course her breaststroke is good. And the front crawl is not bad, and we've already seen already this week that's pretty decent in both regards. Well, she leads from swimmer in the outside lane. That's Naomi Parker. And then Kasia Rickleton. I think we're actually seeing a potential star here in lane number 4, Isla Jones. Breaststroke will tell us a lot about her, because that's obviously the stroke that can let you down a bit and let the others back into the field. And she is losing a bit of ground, because Naomi Parker's breaststroke is very strong. She'll take up the front of the field now. Kasia Rickleton, her breaststroke's very strong too, but of course it's for an 11-year-old, breaststroke is quite tough. You kind of grow into that stroke. The others you can kind of get away with a little bit. Breaststroke is quite tough. She's still in third place though. Our leader in the outside lane, Naomi Parker from Gateshead and Wickham. Will turn now. Rickleton and Jones also in the mix, but the leader definitely coming from lane 9 from Naomi Parker's away now. Jones is not hanging around now on the front crawl. She's worked her way back into second place. She's not going to win it. The winner's definitely going to come from the top of the screen, you think. There's still a bit of time to go yet, so maybe you can't quite call that. Jessie Finley and Isla Jones having their little scrap down below us. And do you know what? She's come all the way through as Jessie Finley to take this. I wasn't even calling her earlier on, but that's how strong her freestyle is. That she came through rapidly over the last 50. 2:40.58, so yeah, I was right with the assertion that Isla Jones would take a fair chunk out of her personal best. Couple of seconds in the right direction, but Jessie Finley, from the information we have, has gone sub 2:40 for the first time into the 2:39s. So Sheffield 1-2. Heat number 4. For a gap, there seems to be, no, it doesn't. It's a late rise from the centre of the pool, so everybody is in place. Olivia Martin, North Lincolnshire, Annabelle Cooper, Weir Valley, Pearl Lightwood of Middlesbrough, Agatha Scott, Harrogate, Brooke Illingworth of Durham, Violet Herefield of Middlesbrough, 2 from Leeds, Megan Sharp, Elizabeth Russell, and Newcastle's Laura Hodgson, and Millie Bosbayer of Middlesbrough. 50 fly, done. Who's where? Well, Elizabeth Russell's at the top, just about. Brooke Illingworth, who's just ahead of Laura Hodgson, who's marginally ahead of Annabelle Cooper. But the IM transforms so quickly and so rapidly that Olivia Martin of North Lincolnshire is not hanging around, pretty much swinging her own race. I always think that maybe lane 0 is not the greatest place to be, but a lot of the swimmers in lane 0 have made so much of being in what might be the less favourable lane down below us, and she is cracking on at a feral rate of knots on the backstroke. It might be a little bit ragged, but she's getting it going. Olivia Martin then from Bosbayer, so 0 and 9 are leading at the moment, 1 and 2, spreading the love right across the pool. Now, what's Olivia Martin's breaststroke like, and will anybody start coming back towards her? Well, the answer to that is probably yes. Agatha Scott, seen now in lane number 3, just working her way through the field. Millie Bosbayer might get overtaken on the breaststroke leg, but Olivia Martin's not going to. She's still got a sizable advantage over the rest of the field, and she might well be able to bring this back. Look at that. It's huge. 2:42 is what she's entered in on. Well, 2:42 will not be anywhere near the reckoning after this. Friday, the front crawl doesn't let her down. There's no indication it's going to. That 2:42 is going to be smashed to smithereens. Terrific swim here from Olivia Martin, 12 years of age from North Lincolnshire. Goes past the steps, and do you know what? If anything, that lead is getting slightly bigger, I think. Or maybe now the swimmer from Harrogate, Agatha Scott, starting to get a little bit closer, and on the far side of the pool, Millie Bosbayer too. But don't worry about them in terms of winning it. Here's your winner in lane 0, 2:38. 4-second improvement for our winner down below us, 2:38 compared to a 2:42 entry time. That's magnificent. And second place to Laura Hodgson of Newcastle, who gets about 8/10 in the right direction with her time as well. Heat 5 of the 200 IM for girls 11-14. Alexa Page of Newcastle, Georgia Robertson, City of Sheffield, Sarah Hedges of Grimsby, Ashley Bailey of City of Sheffield, Sienna Ho-Shing of City of Leeds, Penny Hobson, Borough of Kirklees, Martha Callahan, City of Leeds, another lead swimmer in 7. There's Olivia Hidiat, Ruby Knight of Borough of Kirklees in 8, and Ellie Houghton of Gateshead and Wickham in 9. It's taken us right to the end of it, and there's our outside smoker yet again. Getting winners from 0, getting winners from 9. A leader from 9 at the moment for Gateshead and Wickham, Ellie Houghton. It's spread not that massive actually between the 10 here. 2:38 fastest, 2:40 slowest. Ellie Houghton is the slowest, of course, because she's in lane number 9, but that's not showing at the moment. She led after the butterfly leg. Will she be leading after the backstroke leg? Well, not if swimmer in lane 2, Sarah Hedges, has anything to do with it. But I think she's still going to be holding on. Is Hedges going to get to her? No, she's not. Our leader's still probably going to come from the top of your picture. It's tight, but she's going to get there just ahead of Bailey by 0.27. Here comes Sarah Hedges. Now, the lead is marginal, and this is the leg that sorts them out for me. Every single time the breaststroke leg. Breaststroke, if it's not good, this is where you will get found out. This is where it gets a little bit concertinaed. A lot of them coming together here. And it's the centre lane looking most prominent from Sienna Ho-Shing. Lane 4 suddenly moved into the lead. Wasn't mentioning her before, but her breaststroke has got her right to the front of the field, ahead of Sarah Hedges. And it will be Hedges and Ho-Shing who will turn together and will go together. And also at the top of the picture, just a couple up from your top, is Olivia Hidiat. A couple of lead swimmers really intent on winning this one. One of them probably will from this position, and it may well be Olivia Hidiat with a 2:40 entry time. Going well as Ellie Houghton as she did at the early stages of the race, but looks like it leads 1-2 to me, and looks like it's going to be Olivia Hidiat's going to get there just ahead of Sienna Ho-Shing. She does with a 2:37.69. Well, again, looks like uncharted territory for her, and same for Sienna Ho-Shing. Went down to 2:37 before, 2:38 prior to today, so another nice improvement. I'll wait for the board to revolve. Might have a DQ here. They're holding it up on the board, so who potentially could go? Oh, it's Penny Hobson. Penny Hobson of Borough of Kirklees who gets the DQ. On to heat number 6. Again, a lot of names that you'll be familiar with from this weekend, having multiple swims. Molly Fisher, Rotherham Metro, Summer Thomas of City of Sheffield, Martha Everett, City of Leeds in 2. 3 is Daisy Creel-Parr, City of Sheffield. Fastest in the field, Neve Abbey of Ashington, 2:36 she's entered in on, as indeed is Lauren Smith, City of Leeds. Isla Williams, City of Leeds in 6. 7 is Rebecca Dunn, City of Leeds. 8 is Beth Hall, Grimsby. And 9 is Taylor Ross, Kingston upon Hull. First 50 belongs to Lauren Smith, City of Leeds, by 0.8 over Neve Abbey, who's 11/100ths clear of Daisy Creel-Parr. But that's the butterfly. What does the backstroke tell us? Well, the backstroke tells us to look into that centre lane, in particular lane 3 at the moment, to Daisy Creel-Parr of City of Sheffield, whose backstroke looks adorable. Looks like it's working fantastically well for the young Sheffield club swimmer, City of Sheffield that is, swimmer. And she will lead at 100 now, breaststroke. She leads on the backstroke by a second. Beth Hall in third place. And then comes Molly Fisher. I'm expecting this to just to get a bit tighter in this race, as all the good breaststrokers use their ability on this leg of the iron, but she is holding on. Here's Daisy Creel-Parr in lane number 3, but the threat coming from 2 up, Lauren Smith of City of Leeds. It's a very good breaststroke. So too does Rebecca Dunn of City of Leeds in lane 7, and they're all going to be pretty close together going into that last 50. Dunn has taken over Smith, and then here's Daisy Creel-Parr. Now, the question turns to the front crawl, and this is going to be quite a scrap. Might well again be a lead swimmer that gets to the touch first. Lauren Smith, at 2:36, looks to be the strongest over the last 25. Daisy Creel-Parr would love to get second place. Looks like she might well do that as well, but our winner will come from 5. And in comes Lauren Smith, 2:35. Well, 2:36 prior to today, 2:35 today, 2:35.51. Daisy Creel-Parr, 2:37 in orange time, 2:36.87 today. So I think they're all going the right way. Summer Thomas with a 2:37. That is actually just inside her previous best by 6/100ths of a second. So 1, 2, and 3 all with seemingly new PBs. Rebecca Dunn doesn't get a time, unfortunately, for Leeds. She's DQ'd. Four more heats to go. 200 IM. Line up for heat number 7. Edith Hodgson, Borough of Kirklees. Anna O'Brien, Newcastle. Emily Brooke, Borough of Kirklees. Lauren Empson of Rotherham Metro. Leonie Jones of Borough of Stockton. Jenna Dougal, Derwent-side. Evie Barber of Grimsby. Then 3 Stockton swimmers in 7, 8 and 9. Georgia Hadley, Seren Williams and Coco Soden. That's your lineup for heat 7. 3 going to the wall, absolutely almost identical times. Anna O'Brien, followed by Emily Brooke, followed by Leonie Jones. So nothing to separate the top 3 really on the backstroke. Let's see whether this develops into a 2-swimmer race. Might be some other protagonists coming in interested in getting involved at the front of the race on this one. Anna O'Brien's going well in 1, not quite as well, well actually just as well as our swimmer in lane 4. That's a sideways on shot. She'll probably go to the wall first, and she does. Head, oh, she doesn't quite. Yeah, I'm not sure that's quite right, but anyway, shows that Leonie Jones is leading. You can see now visibly she is, but it's quite tight to that turn. 2 up from Jones is Evie Barber of Grimsby. His breaststroke is bringing her right back into the mix. Lane 2, Emily Brooke is in the top 3. And Seren Williams of Borough of Stockton's having a very good breaststroke leg at the top of your picture, and she might well be there or thereabouts. She might well be leading, actually. She's not leading, she's certainly going to be second at the turn. Yeah, just 0.22 behind Emily Brooke, Seren Williams at the top of the picture. So it's down to Brooke maybe to hold on to this lead in lane number 2, and looks like she's intent on doing just that. Others trying to come back at her, but Emily Brooke with a 2:36.10 entry time, cracking on to try and get maybe a 2:33, 2:34 if she potentially can. She knows there's still some danger lurking. Hasn't got this race won quite yet, but now she has. Nice and comfortable. 2:32, 2:33 will be great. 2:33.55 is what it is. So again, move in a sizable right direction for Emily Brooke. Leonie Jones in second, and third place going to Coco Soden at the top of your picture. with a 2:35.59. 2:33.5 is the fastest so far as we get towards the cyclically seeded, and this will be the first of them. Heat number 8. Iona Logan, City of Leeds, and 2 from Tynemouth, Libby Freeman, Jasmine Campbell, Lara Thompson Leeds, Hermione Rowe Bradford, Kidius Hodgson Leeds, Sheffield's Grace Conroy, Freya Johnson Leeds, Charlotte Berry of Sheffield, and York City's Megan Kirkman in the outside lane. 2:25. Hermione Rowe is the fastest in this field by a couple of seconds on paper anyway. That's not how it's starting here, because lane number 8, Charlotte Berry of City of Sheffield, has had an absolute flyer on the fly and leads Rowe by half a second, and there's about 1.5 to the rest. But, the great thing about the IM is it does transform itself several times over 200 meters, because the butterfly specialists aren't always a butterfly specialist, and they're not always a breaststroke specialist either, so everybody who has a favorite stroke can bring it to the fore in the IM. And there's now 1, 2, 3, 4, potentially 5 almost in a line after the breaststroke leg, backstroke leg, and it could well be Lara Thompson of Leeds who gets there just ahead. She does, of Kidius Hodgson by 0.11. And Libby Freeman in 3rd place. Here come the breaststrokes to either win or lose you a race, I think. The 2 lead swimmers have always got fairly strong ones, but so too has Hermione Rowe of Bradford. So 3 is Lara Thompson of Leeds, Kidius Hodgson's in 5, and between them, of Hermione Rowe Sandwich from City of Bradford. Not making quite as much headway as she wants to yet onto the shoulder of swimmer in lane 5, Kidius Hodgson, who leads. And then you got the Bradford and lead swimmer both going into the wall pretty much together. Hodgson, though, will look to bring this back. The 2 lead swimmers looking to bring it back. Lara Thompson in 3, Kidius Hodgson in 5, and Hermione Rowe just going all out to try and get 2nd place if she can. She's not going to win it, and she knows that, even this far out. Highly unlikely she's going to win it, but she so wants 2nd place. But it's going to be a Leeds 1-2, and it's going to come 5 and 3 by the looks of it. Oh, it's tight. No, well, I think 5's got it. Yeah, Kidius Hodgson did get it in a 2:28.58. It was quite tight though in the end. There's only 15 100ths between 1 and 2, with Hermione Rowe in 3rd place, but 3 under 2:29. That's good for later on today. On to heat number 9. One more after this to come in the 200 IM. Bethany Crump of Grimsby, closest to us. 1 is Gina Speakman of Halifax. Hannah Brown, Gateshead and Wickham. Ella Cooper, City of Leeds. Abigail Miles, City of Sheffield. Millie Balding are of Kirklees. Then Leah Schlossam of City of Leeds. Eve Linton of Grimsby in 7. 8 is Hermione Timms, and 9 is Olivia Cattery. Well, who's got the flying start on the fly? Here's Millie Balding of Borough Kirklees. Now, Abigail Miles has the fastest time in the field by nearly 3 seconds, but will that show here? Not at the moment, it's not. I can only presume from that she's got a stronger second half to a race than she has the first, because she's not in contention for the lead at the moment. That's definitely being owned at the moment by the swimmer in lane number 5, Millie Balding. Ella Cooper in 2nd, and fastest on paper Abigail Miles is just a little bit back, but maybe it's the breaststroke that will change all that. She's got a great turn. Now she's in the breaststroke and starting to make some advances on the top 2. Here she comes. Yeah, that kind of answered my question. I thought it might be the breaststroke that would bring her alongside our leader. Our leader now in lane number 3, Ella Cooper. But zooming through goes Abigail Miles. Yeah, that breaststroke is so strong. So you can go from 3rd place to 1st place pretty rapidly on the breaststroke, and it does transform the whole event when you have such a strong breaststroke, and indeed she does. Look at that. She's given herself a lead now of over 2 seconds, which she should be able to hold on to, you would think, at this stage. Give yourself a 2.33 front. Your front crawl is okay. It's kind of the stroke that everybody has a decent one of, don't they? Well, she's second half of a race very strong. I was getting a little bit worried, thinking maybe the entry times were telling me lies, but they weren't. Second half of a race, we'll look out for that later on today as well. Abigail Miles, in she comes with a 2:28. She can go considerably quicker than that. 2:28.29. Ella Cooper in 2nd place. That's not far outside her personal best. In fact, it's inside her personal best by 0.09. And then Leah Schlossen finishing strongly for City of Leeds in 6th with a 2:30.88, and I'll make that also a PB. Final heat. Fastest swimmer should be in this one. Again from Sheffield, Izzy May Reeves. She's in 4. The others involved. We don't have a 1. We do have everybody else. Neem Carroll, City of Leeds. Emily Turner, City of Leeds. Faye McDonough, Borough of Stockton. Izzy May Reeves I mentioned, City of Sheffield. Martha Bradley of Leeds. Then Ella Bainbridge Cleethorpes, Charlotte Thompson Loftus Dolphins, Alana McDonald of Borough of Stockton, and City of Leeds Melissa Morehouse goes in 9. So lane 5 leading after the first 50. Martha Bradley from Izzy May Reeves, and then Faye McDonough. Now on the backstroke, they're starting to come together just a little bit more there. 4, 5, 6 and 7 in a bit of an echelon. All about body length apart. Quite symmetrical at the moment. And it means that our leader is Izzy May Reeves now from City of Sheffield, who's to the front of the field. A little bit of a glide in there, but not enough to really affect the front of the field too much. Ella Bainbridge in 2nd place, Emily Turner in 3rd, and the red cap of Sheffield starting to dominate now. Who's got a breaststroke that might rival our leader here? Seems to potentially be coming from Martha Bradley in lane 5. She's getting marginally closer, just edging a little bit closer, and in the slipstream is Ella Bainbridge of Cleethorpes in 3rd place, but the Sheffield swimmer hanging on to a lead. Not as big a lead as it was, but it's still a lead, but it's going to be a tough one to hold on to on the front crawl. It's about 1.52, but Bradley's had a good turn and has Izzy May Reeves in her sights. It'll only be one of these two that's going to win it, provided we don't have a DQ. And Izzy May Reeves says, thank you very much indeed. I think I'll take over this one and complete it if you don't mind. Izzy May Reeves, Martha Bradley, going to finish 1 and 2. Still options behind, but our winner's going to get there fairly comfortably. It's on 2:23. Not expecting that this morning. Won't get it this morning. 2:25 will do. 2:26 actually will. No, 2:25 it is for our winner. Yeah, 2:25.27 for our winner. Martha Bradley with a 2:26. Right, she's right on the cusp of her entry time. And 3rd is Ella Bainbridge with a 2:30, and that's actually similarly just outside the quickest she has been. Right, sprints to come to round off the first session. Can now say very good afternoon, because we've moved into Sunday afternoon here in Leeds. So it is splash and dash time for the boys. Firstly, the 11 to 14-year-olds in the 50 backstroke, of which we will have 8 heats. Durham City, City of Leeds, Doncaster Darts, Newcastle, Scarborough and Gateshead and Wickham all involved in this one. Callum Broadhead really wanting to make this race all his own in lane number 4. Looks like he may well do that because the others are all pretty much in the line, but lane 4 is going for broke. Doncaster Dart with a 37 dead entry time. Going to get well inside that. 35 maybe? 35.40 for our winner.
Heat number 2, you are under the control of the referee.
Always with the sprint, I'll just give you the clubs. I mentioned the swimmers in the front of the field a little bit later on. So Gateshead and Wickham in 0. Hartlepool, Newcastle, Sunderland, Borough of Kirklees, Borough of Stockton, Derwent, Leeds, and 2 from Harrogate in the outside lanes. All are in, all are underway. Heat number 2 of the 50 backstroke. First heat swam with a 35.40 winning time. This one, however, is much more competitive. Maybe much more difficult to call as well. Luke McGee, Rory Bryant right at the front of the field. So too up in lane number 6 is Dean McAleer of Derwent side. Might well be 6 is going to take it. McAleer looking the best, looking the most sharp, and looking the most likely to take it. 35.86 is exactly what he does do. For our winner, McAleer. Under 36 he goes with a 35.86. Not as quick as our first heat, but looks like a slightly quicker time for him than he's been before. Heat 3. And we'll cursory glance across, make sure that all the 10 we're expecting to be there are there. Can't see a vacant lane unless 0 hasn't got anybody. In fact, 0 hasn't got anybody, so we'll mark that one off. Everybody else in place. So Derwent side, Chester Street, Gateshead and Wickham. Sunderland, Hartlepool, Whitby, Hartlepool again. AFS, Hartlepool in 8 and Scarborough in 9. Looking across to lane number 6. Again for a really good start from Samuel Emmett of City of Leeds, who will know every single droplet in this pool. Being flanked now quite closely by lane number 5, but not closely enough to take it. Henry Cornforth of Whitby getting the touch. And time of 35.10. So again, moving in the right direction by 0.6. So jumped a heat ahead. It's a bit of the heat that has Emmett in it. But 35.10 for Cornforth of Whitby. We have Joseph Pennock in 4, who has been sub 35. No lane 5. Everybody else there. Skipton, Borough, Stockton twice. Ashington, Harrogate, Leeds, Harrogate twice more, and Newcastle. There's something about lane number 6 at the moment. It seems to be producing some very quick time. Samuel Emmett, I mentioned in the previous heat, well, he is in this one, and he is leading this one for the City of Leeds. Got 35.12 entry time, and he's just blitzing the rest of the field Going to win this fairly comfortably in the end is the swimmer in the yellow cap in lane number 6. And we'll get a time from him in just a moment. Here it comes, 34.31. So I make that the first time he's been sub 35. 34.31 for Emmett. Second to Atkinson, 34.96. Yep, first time he's been under 35 as well. Four more heats. So one more before we get to the cyclically seeded heats. Yeah, no zero. Maybe some sort of use zero at the moment. Kirklees, Tynemouth, Morpeth, Leeds, Selby, North Tyneside, Sheffield City, Doncaster Darts, and Cleethorpes. Well, it's not 6 we're looking at this time. It is lane number 3 we're looking at on this one. Lane number 3 is Morpeth's Dominic Anderson, who's had a very, very good start. It looks like he's not going to relinquish that one anytime soon. Now, he is entered on a 33.81. Not today, it's not going to be. 32.35 for our winner. Everybody knocking quite big chunks off their entry time here for the leading swimmers anyway. Charlie Broom 33.82 in second. That's just marginally outside his best, but our winner goes into the 32s for the first time. For the 14-year-old from Morpeth. Everybody in place for this one. South Axholme, North Tyneside, York City, Sunderland, Leeds, Gateshead and Wickham, Doncaster Darts, Stocksbridge, City of Bradford, Rotherham Metro is where we find these swimmers from, and we're looking to the centre lane, lane number 4 for the yellow cap of Ben Shelton. Looking to break 30 for the first time. He's done 30.54 before today. He's going to win this. Question is, can he get under that 30-second barrier? It's a very important one for him. He's not going to be a million miles outside it, but just floating outside with a 30.67, so just a little bit outside his personal best, sadly, but he's got a chance to rectify that later in the day. Adam Strickland, 32.05, and third, Toby Mayfield, 32.16. Much harder, of course, when we get into the cyclically seeded heats for the top swimmers to improve on their best times in the heats. But we do have a couple of swimmers who've gone sub 30 to come. And both of them are great racers, so they might fancy their chances, though. They are swimmers who are doing multiple events, so you have to take that into account too. They had a nice comfortable qualification this morning and no undue alarms. That was the fastest time of the morning, of course. Ben Shelton, 30.67. Turn attention back to the other end of the pool and see if we've got any absentees. It looks like 9, if I counted correctly. So who have we not got? 7. Stocksbridge, Doncaster Darts, Derwentide, York City, Chester Street, City of Bradford, Team Jorvik, Rotherham Metro, AFS Hartlepool and Middlesbrough. Straight away, eyes trained on lane number 4 and lane number 5 to see what might materialise from here. Looking particularly good at the moment. Here's Harry Nicholson of Chester Street. Going to win this by, oh, actually I think he's easing off. He is easing off. And still knocks on that 30. Here comes his time. It'll be confirmed in lane 4. Yeah, 29.89. That was cheeky. It was a very cheeky swim there because he was actually easing off as it came into the wall there. So that indicates to me there's quite a bit of speed left to come later on today. If you're going sub 30 in the morning, 29.89, the only sub 30 swim we've seen. I think we might possibly see another one from Ryan Zhao. But that was, yeah, comfortable. Just turn the motor off a little bit. Last 5 to 10 metres. Keep a little bit in reserve for later on today and have a go, because he knows that Ryan Zhao is the man he'll probably have to beat later today in the 50 back. Let's see what kind of form he's in, as he's been doing multiple events, IM and backstroke and breaststroke. Annick, Harrogate, Newcastle 2 from Gateshead and Wickham, Derwent side, City of Leeds, Barnsley, Stockton and South Tyneside. Ryan Zhao, even at 25, looking like Liam Tancock used to look like from a Great Britain point of view. So dominant, so much in control of things. Doesn't want to turn off too early here. He'll know he makes the final with comparative ease, but can he break 30? Does he want to break 30? Does he want to just ease into the wall? 29 high is what we get. 29.94 for Ryan Zhao, so just a little bit shy of Harry Nicholson's time by 0.05. Adam Barrett in second place, Joshua Savage in third. All of them we will see later on today in the final of that event. Last male event of the morning. So 50 butterfly for the girls, 11 to 14. And we will have 8 heats of this. Or 12 or 11 in this heat. Lucy Wood, the only 11-year-old. Everybody there. So City of Leeds, City of Sunderland, Borough of Kirklees, Tynemouth, Leeds again, Chester Street, Barnsley, Richmond, Dale, Newcastle and Grimsby. And to the far side of the field is where I'm looking again, lane 6, 6 and 9. Chloe Eade and Lucy Wood are the ones at the front of the field. Anybody else going to come back? Yes. Esma Robinson's trying to get back right in there, and she is getting right back in there. She could possibly take it, or is it going to be the outside smokers again? Jess Widdowson of City of Leeds, 33.56 for our winner. Ruby Knight in second place. And third place, Lucy Wood. That changed over the last 5 to 10 meters because Widdowson was not in my peripheral vision until the very end. But 33.56 I make is first time she's been sub 34. Heat 2. So Newcastle, Tynemouth, Leeds, Grimsby, AST. Leeds, Grimsby again, Derwent side, Tynedale, Borough, Stockton and Derwent side all involved. This one a much tighter affair. Although there is somebody just emerging at the front of the field, and that is Jenna Dougal of Derwent side in 6. But as we saw from the previous heat, the last 15 metres could change all that. She is at the front of the field with a very strong finish by Libby Mundy of Grimsby. Is trying to come through, and Mundy's right there and nearly got there. Jenna Dougal, 32.55. So again, first sub 33 swim, I think, for her. Rebecca done with a 32.58. And yeah, same for her too. The 32 is the first time. Libby Mundy, 32.80. Yeah, 33.26 was her entry time. So into new territory for them. Heat number 3. So Leeds, Wakefield, Middlesbrough, 2 from Sheffield, Kirklees, Ashington, Leeds, Lincolnshire, North Lincolnshire, and Borough of Stockton. Now, what an even break this one is. Although Charlotte Clark with the yellow cap catching my eye, so too in the middle lane is Gracie Shepherd, who's had a very good morning. Gracie Shepherd right in the mix. So too is Edith Hodgson of Borough of Kirklees. But maybe the Sheffield swimmer's going to get there, possibly. Isla Jones also right alongside her, but it will be lane 4. Gracie Shepherd gets her 32.46. Heading in the right direction, as is Isla Jones with a 32.58. With the Sheffield swimmers finishing 1 and 2, improving on their entry times by a few tenths of a second. So we're going to lose somebody from there. Lane 4. Oh, Gracie Shepherd doesn't get a time because she's been DQ'd. So our winner of that heat is not our winner. Isla Jones will take over that mantle. Heat 4, 2 from Leeds, Stocksbridge, Gateshead and Wickham, Richmond, Dale, Morpeth, Ashington, City of Sunderland, North Lincolnshire and Rotherham Metro. Look at this for an even break right across the ball as we get further into the heats. That often happens, so I'm looking to the far side, maybe 6, maybe 7, maybe one of those two, possibly coming through quite strongly now. Rosie Smith of Morpeth in lane number 5. She's going to probably just about take this one if she can hold on for the finish, because they're coming back at her as she gets in there. 31.73. So another improvement for Rosie Smith. Inside 32 she goes. 31.73. Macy Yoxall with a 32.18. Yeah, that's 3/10 better than we have her down for. So fastest time of this event so far. 4 more heats. So the cyclically seeded up next after this one. All of these swimmers have 32 second times. All of them, like the previous one. So this could be a bit of a bun fight. Northallerton, Harrogate, Cleethorpes, Borough of Kirklees, Newcastle, Kirklees again, Grimsby, Barnsley, Leeds and Newcastle. And kind of as I predicted, their times are similar, so their positions in the pool. Lane number 5, Jessica Hartley of Kirklees looking good. Not bad either. Georgia Lee of Barnsley. They're coming strong down below us. In lane number 1 is Georgina Houseman, and Houseman might just get to the wall before the rest. I think she did. Let's see. No, Jessica Hartley did. 31.76. What was the difference there? Or 4/100ths. Came down to the touch. Georgina Houseman looked visibly like she was going to get there first, but 4/100ths separated her from our winner. Not quite as quick as the previous heat. Now these will be quicker because we're into the 3 cyclically seeded heats, which contain 1, 2, 3, 4 swimmers who've been sub 30. Gateshead of Wickham, Grimsby, Borough of Kirklees, City of Sheffield, Newcastle, City of Leeds, Durham City, Borough of Stockton, and 2 more from Leeds. Anna O'Brien in lane 4 has the fastest time on paper, but maybe that's not going to happen here because Ella Cooper has other ideas in lane number 5, trying to take her out. But a very strong finish here by the Newcastle swimmer in lane number 4. It's going to see her come through and take this just. It's going to be very, very tight between 4 and 5. But Newcastle from Leeds, I think, wait for that to confirm, I think 4 from 5. Or maybe not. No, maybe 5 from 4. There you go. Ella Cooper just getting in the touch. 30.28 as opposed to 30.42. Both cases, both swimmers a little bit slower than their entry time. 2 more to come. Olivia Cattery of Newcastle, fastest in this field in lane 4. I'll give you the clubs being represented here. City of Leeds, Newcastle, Tynemouth, City of Sheffield, Gateshead and Wickham, City of Sheffield, Middlesbrough, Gateshead and Wickham, City of Leeds. Cattery, very strong, lane 4. Likewise though, Ellie Houghton of Gateshead and Wickham, and up in lane number 7, Isabel Montague of Middlesbrough is having a decent swim as well. Lane 7, lane 6, lane 4. Go for lane 4. Go for Olivia Cattery, and you'd be right. 30.07. So nobody breaking the 30 barrier yet. Not close to it. Charlotte Berry with 30.75. Third, Hermione Timms with 31.25. Ah, come on. Girls, don't let us down. Let's have a sub 30 in the final heat. Should happen with Harriet Rogers, you'd hope. She's been down in the low 29s. Just want that to round off our morning. So you expect the top swimmers to Let's see, break their PBs in the heat. Save that for the final later on, but she's got a 29.23, so I expect her to be in and around that 30-second mark. City of Leeds, South Tyneside, Tynemouth, Tadcaster, Darlington, City of Bradford, City of Sheffield, Tynemouth, Kingston upon Hull, Rotherham Metro. So, come on, lane number 4. Harriet Rogers, show us what you got. Well, she's got a lot, so too is Hermione Rowe. The top 2 in terms of time, a top 2 in the pool. It's going to be a girl scrap here between the Darlington swimmer and the City of Bradford swimmer. And indeed, the swimmer in lane number 3, Abigail Parkinson of Tadcaster, fancies a piece of the action. 30.16 for Harriet Rogers of Darlington. So that's the second fastest time of the morning. Abigail Parkinson 30.28. Hermione Rowe in third with a 31.02. And that will conclude all the racing for the morning session here in Leeds. Hope you've enjoyed what you've seen. Hope you've seen some improvements in your swimmers and some things to get you excited. And of course, most of those swimmers, the best ones, will be back for the finals later on at 3:30. Forward to your company then. Just go through those events for you one more time. Of course, see the individual finals for the 11 and 12, 13 and 14-year-olds in the 400 freestyle for boys. Then we'll see the 100 freestyle for girls. That'll be followed by the 100 butterfly for boys. Girls 200 backstroke. And right after that with 200 breast for boys. 200 IM for girls. 50 back for boys. And then we'll round it all off with the 50 butterfly for girls. That will be the program from 3:30 onwards. So in about 3 hours time, we'll be back here in Leeds for more action. Thank you for your company this morning. Hope you've enjoyed it. And we'll see you later today. Bye-bye.